It's Friday, June 26th, 2026. Let's start off as we typically do by reminding you, if you'd like to support our show, you can go to supportourshow.com and select from a support avenue that makes sense for you on that page, because I think there's 5 or 6. Is there anything else? Programming notes. Yes, over on the Twit Network, which I know I mention all the time because I'm one of the few people who will jump on to any of the things they do that's open to any of the members, and I will sit there and blabber, as I am uniquely skilled to do. And I've mentioned the book club, which I've done many of those. Those, by the way, are at this point all now on their public YouTube channel. So if you want to see the book club episodes I've been part of, they're all on there. So you can go find them because they make their stuff available to everybody about a month after they're exclusive to the club members. And they recently launched something new, which is the Media Club. And, the first movie for the Media Club, would you like to take a guess what the first movie for the Media Club might have been?
It's not, oh God, what's the terrible Anne Hathaway movie?
No, okay, I don't know. It's not, no.
Okay.
This is the opposite. This is a movie that I absolutely had to comment on.
Oh, I mean, there can be any number of movies. Strange Days,
No. Think deeply into my particular thing and what movie I'd have to comment.
Hold on, Stalker?
No. That's too broad. This is these movies are going to be relatively mainstream.
I mean, the problem is we've got so many movies between us.
Think of a person in a movie that if somebody did it, I'd have to.
It's a Mila movie.
Yeah.
Fifth Element.
That's it. That was their first one. And I was like, I'm showing up. So sure enough, I did. And so it's not out yet.
I love her so much, and she's so pretty, and I like her hair, and I like the way she walks around.
I created
she's so cute.
A graphic to have on my video until I showed up, and I still have that graphic, which I will show you. I assume it will be on the video when it is made public. I don't know for sure because, but no. And I did this in about 20 minutes before I realized the episode was starting.
I love how much you love that woman. Oh, interesting. Joe Esposito multipass. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Yep. I had to construct a lot of that very quickly because there was no template. I just assumed.
You know what? That's what you do, though. That's construct very quickly.
I do.
That is your forte. The construction.
So yes, that is that will be available probably at the. I'd say the midpoint of July for anybody. I'll try to remember to mention it again because, in case somebody wants to see me gushing. So it's just an ongoing
movie thing.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. It is. Well, yeah. So what they do is they do a poll.
Yeah.
And people in the club vote. And whatever the selection is, I think they give people 2 weeks to vote. The current here, I'll give people because the thing is, you actually can watch these live.
Yeah.
On a public channel. And then once it's done, that becomes club only until they release it to everybody after the fact. So the next poll, where is it? Announcements. Here it is. Okay, so the next selection, it's of 4. There's 4 options. So A is the top animated episodes, and there's 3. The Futurama episode Jurassic Park, which is such a bummer. Rick and Morty Total Recall, and Simpsons Marge versus the Monorail. So that's option A.
Oh my God. Hold on. You just jogged my memory. I have to tell you this because I'm going to forget if you go any further.
Okay.
I was playing Cards Against Humanity with my family, and we got the card about O.J. Simpson, and my youngest said, "Hey, I don't know who that is. I never watched that show."
Oh, that's magnificent.
I fucking died. Just right there, laughing my ass off, because I was like, of course, if you have no context. You know, we talk about the way like history gets like screwed up, right?
Yes.
If you have no context whatsoever, it's like, yeah. And they were like, we were like, you don't know anything about O.J. Simpson? They're like, it was a show with a family.
I never watched the O.J. Simpsons.
Like,
not me either.
And I said, no, he was a football player. And she's like, well, I never, I never liked cartoon sports. She's something like, I never liked cartoon sports. She said, I never watched cartoon sports. And I was like, is that a cartoon?
Oh my!
Wow! He was a real guy, and like, we told the story, and then they were like, oh God, that's terrible. We're like, yeah, that's why it's so insane that you like, you totally missed it.
Okay, that's a show title, the O.J. Simpson sports cartoon.
Oh my God!
That might be an early contender. We'll see.
I'm telling you, man.
I don't know if we're beating that.
When she said that to me. Like, it took you know when something hits you, and it always hits you, like, physically, where you're like, boom! Yeah. And you're like, did they just, it's like, oh my God, it's like, that's, and then your brain is, like, rattling through the fact that it's as funny as it is, on top of the fact that you're like, oh my God, you don't know. Why would you know?
No, that's fantastic.
Because if you never had, so yes, I wanted to share that with you, because you reminded me of, the fact that, she'd never watched The Simpsons, and didn't know anything about the O.J. Simpson trial.
I mean, that's...
I can't wait for those two things to get like all tied up together in history.
I think it was that's really.
Oh
wow, yeah.
Sorry, I totally screwed up. So you did the first part of your vote. What were the other two?
Yeah, option B is Perfect Days, the Wim Wenders film from 2023. C is Begonia. That's the Emma Stone, I think, is the sci-fi. movie.
That's the remake of the South Korea movie.
Yeah, and D is The Matrix, which is currently winning by quite a bit. And so I'm like, well, I mean, I would show up to any of these, but certainly The Matrix. I show up to any of their things where people can join. To the point where I'm sure there are people in their audience that hate me because I show up for everything, guaranteed, where it's open. And will just blab for a while. So, anyway.
You know what? Yeah. I support you in your endeavors.
I have fun. That's the important part.
It sounds like you do.
I have a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Have fun with it.
I mean, and on the plus side for them, it does show,
sir,
if anybody else.
Sir,
there are other people who do join. Yeah.
You are a wellspring of information. A wellspring.
Oh, I'm certainly that.
Okay, so yeah, I think they're lucky to have you.
I was the only person on the panel who said that I don't like the opera scene, which that got a bit of a reaction. But I'm like, I don't like it. It's too architected.
You know what? Do you know what my favorite part about that whole opera thing I've come to realize is that was the director's wife right up until the moment that he met Mila.
Yeah, well, that came up. That did come up. And I was not the only one who said, well,
do they devolve into people trying to out trivia each other? I'm curious.
No, it's not like that. No, okay. So the main host is a trivia hound. So does enjoy and we'll bring up the parts of trivia when we're talking about certain things. So that did come up. But it is not a who knows the most about it. No, it's more of, for example, the first question was, do you remember the first time you saw it? And everybody was talking about their first time experiencing it. And I mentioned heavy metal, which one of the other hosts, who's the person who founded the network, was also a big heavy metal fan. So we were talking about Mobius and the artwork and how French it is, and how one of the things that's unique about it is its whole feeling and atmosphere, and it's very unusual if you only seen Western science fiction films. That there's a lot of its European DNA that probably made it and did make it very divisive. And that's the reason that, Sarah was like, no, this is why you should see it. Because if all you've seen is Star Wars, Star Trek, this type of thing, this will feel very fresh and interesting and different. It might not always work for you because it's very funny while being an epic story in theory, but it's got such a strange
this is like
feeling to it.
The host ping pong between being
very similar.
Absurdly funny, and then you're like, oh my god, like this is people are the children are dying, like
right. Yeah. No, very similar. But so no, it's not really a trivia thing. It's more of just trying to. I think it's more of a. I mean, the age range for that.
Yeah.
Was it was really all over the map. You had at the high end, I believe Leah Laporte is 60 something, 65, 66, something like that. Down to the Micah is very young. I mean, I'm gonna guess maybe he's 30. So it's a wide range of age and tastes and all that type of stuff.
Does he know about the O.J. Simpson cartoon?
I will have to ask. But the thing you're talking about came up because before we started the show proper. I was saying this thing about, you should mix in movies that you assume people have seen, but if they're very young, they haven't. Because I said you and I on our show have talked about this idea that I brought Back to the Future was my example. I said I just assume everybody's seen Back to the Future, so you make these references. Yeah. And he said, yeah, you could have a reference to a reference unless you know both of them. You know what?
We, my wife and I had a
like O.J. Simpson's cartoon.
Had a Pee Wee Herman reference during Cards Against Humanity, where there was something that came up about there was some ridiculous question, and my card was Texas, and I just said Texas, and my youngest looked at me.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Yeah, and my wife and I both were like, "The stars are bright, deep in the heart of Texas," which is like, that's that scene from Pee Wee Herman, the first movie,
where he's the phone booth.
Where he's like, "I'm in Texas," yeah. And both my kids just look at me like, have you two lost your mind? And I'm like, yeah, this is what getting older means. The in-jokes.
No, the real one is tell them Large Marge sent you. If somebody knows what that means, they know. Because deep in the heart of Texas, they could just think it's a Texas thing because that is the song.
Well, I told you.
Say, tell them Large Marge sent you, and you'll get a look.
We just watched this show called the Four Seasons with Tina Fey. It's like four couples. Yeah, sure. 4 couples? 3 couples. 1, 2. I think it's 3 couples. Anyway, and there's a thing in there about an older person dating a much younger woman. And I was watching the sequence where he was like trying to like hang out with her and her younger friends, and like how kind of out of touch they are. And I was like, this is the whole Smashing Pumpkins thing. So like, I got to an age in my life where I was like, if you don't know who Smashing Pumpkins are, then I know that we're probably there is a significant age gap between us, and it was early on that occurred. But it's like, okay, I know now that I need to readjust my references, because like Smashing Pumpkins were fairly big when we were younger, and then they kind of like fell off, and it's that kind of thing. It's like, Smashing Pumpkins. I think Bush is another one where it's like, do you know who Bush is? Not sure. That they were like huge, but there was a time period where they were all over the place. Yeah. So, your references. Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah. No, you could say, well, despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. And some people know what that means. Some people are like, yeah, I guess you're right. But, yep, you don't know anything about what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm.
The rage.
Yep. Right.
So, is there any more about the Twit Network thing? Are you how long is that, or is that just a new thing that they're doing altogether?
Well, they're doing it. I think they're doing it monthly. Did they put the schedule? It's going to be, I believe, every Friday. If you want to watch the live version of it, I believe it's Fridays at 2. I will. When's the next one? Does it have it on the event calendar yet? Let me look. Yes, here it is. The next one will be so it's monthly or roughly monthly on Friday. So Friday, August 17th at 2. Will likely be The Matrix unless there's a big swing, because right now The Matrix is winning by 10 votes. It's well ahead. So I assume it will be The Matrix. And boy, oh boy, will I be thrilled to talk about The Matrix. So, because I have a lot to say about that movie. About around the movie as well as the movie. So, yeah.
I'm
including
glad.
Telling Transfilms to go fuck themselves, which I will work into that.
What? Who?
Transphobes.
Oh, transphobes. Sorry.
Yeah, people who are like, I like that movie until the directors became women, which I have read that people have said.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It makes no difference to me.
Yeah.
I found a cartoon recently.
Because you have a brain. Go on.
That I want to share with you. It's Optimus Prime and Megatron, and there's some woman's like, there's like a human woman in front of them. She's like, I don't like the fact that your name has trans in it, and Megatron pulls his gun out and points it at her, and Optimus is like, no. Great. He's like, don't hurt the organics, Megatron, you know. And then she's like, and I better not see you in my bathroom either. And then Optimus Prime reaches over and just crushes her head.
Where was this?
It was a little comic strip I found.
Ah, what a great strip.
Let's see if I can find it for you.
I bet you I can find it if I put Optimus Prime hates transphobes. Let's see. Yep, yeah, got it.
You found it
in 2 seconds.
There you go. And he crushes her head, right?
That's great. Yep.
Yeah.
As soon as I put Optimus Prime hates transphobes, bingo.
Yep, there you go. Right I thought it was just an adorable little cartoon, a little comic strip.
Yeah, I like stuff like that. That's great.
Yeah. Because they are Transformers. Have been since I was a little kid.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
And you know what? Actually, Transformers is a great place to examine gender because there's no sex organs in Transformers. And yet there are females. Like, my son is less interested in characters like...
so.
Yeah, I know, right? But my son is less interested in characters like RC and what's the other one? Oh, God, the other who's... God, I can't remember her name. She's like one of the early ones. But like I don't remember. They had these characters that are very, like, you know, they give them all these telltale sort of like female physical forms, and yet you're like, dude, there's no point. And it's you. If anything, it'd be funny if they had one of these characters with like a female form, and then had them talk like Optimus, where they were just like, you know, nice and deep because I'm a fucking robot. You know, it's So I always found that very funny, and it was like the humanness trying to bleed through the robot element of this, where it's like, guys, if this culture truly evolved the way that, you know, you say it has evolved, then they would have no concept of that kind of thing. I mean, the Transformers themselves don't seem to point it out, but it's the whole, but remember I showed you that one female Transformer figure, and we were both commenting the fact that, like, it was damn sexy. Like, whoever had designed it was like, I'm going to give this Transformers woman some hips. You know what I mean? And it's like, why are these human forms transferring over to this? It doesn't need to be there at all. So, I always found that amusing. And my son is actually old enough now and more fascinated in Transformers that, like, he has moved beyond that now. Like, when he was younger, he was like, I don't like pink shit. But he's moved into that kind of upper stage now where he's like, they're all just robots. I love... My son likes to kind of corner me and lecture me about the history of Transformers because he knows, like, everything about them. And I always love to kind of get him into a weird conversation about where Transformers come from. Because it's complicated and weird, and I don't think anybody understands it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the people who actually were responsible for making it ever bothered to care to explain it.
Well, no, because it was a toy thing.
That's what I mean. It wasn't important to them because the only thing that was important was selling toys, and knowing where they came from didn't sell anything.
I'm looking at the design for RC from, like, the movie, and I mean, someone was like, let's make a fuckable robot.
Yeah, I mean that was the idea.
Man,
which, you know,
that's funny.
I'm sure somebody jerked off to it.
You know what? That is a weird concept to look at something and go, this got somebody hot, and you'd be like, oh wow, that's weird. I mean, okay.
Honestly, isn't that kind of the case with everything?
Yes.
So
well, yeah, something gets everybody hot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, you remember there was that, I don't remember the artist who made all those, they were very, very big in the 80s, the silver robots that were all just hot women.
Oh, Sorayama.
That were just completely
Sorayama, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
I have that
yeah.
book. Yeah, he's
That's what I'm saying.
Zelda's
So
like silver robot
that's-
woman. Yeah.
Okay, that's the same thing. It's the exact same thing.
To some degree. Yeah. But I mean, but you
They're
know
all
what?
fuckable robots eventually.
But you still have the, but you still have the form. I think is really what it is. It's the form that we like. You know,
I mean, that's the case with RC too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she's got the form.
RC is recognizably enough of a humanoid form that you know where the parts are supposed to be. Right? I mean, it's not joke.
You know what?
That
right?
might
be one of the most enjoyable things you've said to me on this show.
That's my point.
The parts
is
are supposed to be.
You know where the parts are supposed to be.
Come on, guys. You know where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Right? I mean, I'm just saying.
Sure.
That if you have here's the test. All right, you remember? You will. What's her name? What's Olivia something in Tron Legacy? What's her name?
Yeah, she was a. She was like a.
She was one of the IOs.
No, I know. Yeah, Olivia Wilde.
Yeah, Wilde. Yeah. That's it. Right? There's there's a picture that goes around of Olivia Wilde reclining on the couch in her full Tron gear. Right?
Yeah.
Smokingly hot image. It's the one that comes up. If you search for it, you're going to see that in 2 seconds. Right?
Oh, yes, the first thing that comes up. Yep, on the couch.
The first thing that comes up, and rightly so. The thing about that is, if you put RC on the couch in that same position, you know where you would be draping yourself on top of her. You take a Lovecraftian cosmic creature, which has nonsensical geometry, and you put it on that couch, you don't know where you're supposed to go. That's the difference.
I know.
It's that simple. That tells you the intent of the design of the character vis-a-vis their sexual accessibility. That's it. If you know where the parts are, it was designed with good times in mind. That's it.
Yeah, and it's just comical because it's for something that doesn't need to be that way at all. They've injected it in, you know what I mean? Well,
I mean, yes, there is that. But also, the character has a great motto, which is ferocity without compassion is brutality.
Interesting. Okay.
It's a nice kind of personality statement.
Yeah.
So,
like, I'm not a bitch like those other Transformers.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh god, I hate when you save something on your desktop and it just fucking disappears. God damn it. It just fucking disappears like magic.
I can't help you with that from here.
I know. It's just...
Sorry.
It's just a shittiness. So...
Sorry. Yeah.
What's going on in the world for you, sir? You got anything for me?
You know what? 2 things. Let's start with the biological stuff since we're kind of already in that.
Oh, here we go.
I had a strange thought today.
Only one?
This is just a general thought. Apropos of nothing, it's not related to anything really. Just a general thing that I've realized I am annoyed with in terms of biology.
Okay.
I don't like food that when it exits you, if you have not chewed it into the atom level of
just corn.
destruction,
corn, yeah,
corn, peas, lettuce, anything.
Well, because hold on,
I just don't like it as a concept.
It's because these plants are trying to reproduce.
I'm well aware. I'm well aware of the survival.
And you have to chew it as much as possible, and
Yeah. No,
you know what?
saying,
Listen,
it's a fault.
You know what upsets me more? A coffee that you drink, like flavored coffee, that for the rest of the day you pee the smell of that coffee. I had a maple pecan coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, right?
Wow.
And for the rest of the day, I was peeing maple pecan urine.
That's fascinating because I think that's the best thing. I don't want to smell urine.
No. It's not that I
smell coffee.
Listen, it's not that I want to smell urine. It's that it worries me that it's gone all the way through and come out the other end, It's like when you listen. It's like when you.
But then why doesn't a pea or a piece of corn bother you? It's the same thing.
Because that's not processed. That's natural. Do you know what I mean?
Well, coffee.
The maple pecan flavor is artificial. Whereas the corn.
Okay. Well, then you're getting artificial coffee. You can get naturally flavored coffee. That is not artificial.
Oh, that's definitely
and you
not
will
what
still
I'm
smell
getting from Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay. Well. Okay. Yes. Dunkin' Donuts is shit. So yes, there is that. That's like going to McDonald's and wondering why you don't have Wagyu beef or however you pronounce that.
Wagyu. Yeah.
Is it Wagyu? Whatever.
Oh, whatever. Whatever. It is what it is.
It's yes, right. No exaggeration, and I've said this to stunned looks. Is I'm sometimes astonished at the fact that when you get something like McDonald's, Burger King, any of these fast food things, that very similar to what I was just talking about with peas and corn, that you don't just excrete a solid piece of cheese because it's so fake.
Doesn't just come out like
that. You just kind of expect to look down. There's just a floating piece of cheese because your body's like, I'm not touching that.
Do you remember Brain Freeze?
Wrong.
That drink Brain Freeze.
Brain Freeze. I don't think I did.
It was the same people who made Jolt. It had a ludicrous amount of caffeine.
Yeah, I remember Jolt, but not Brain Freeze.
But yeah, Brain Freeze. Oh, let me see if I can find a picture of it. And they used this dye in it that made it so dangerously blue. Oh, it was Brain Freeze, right? And then when you drank it for the next 3 days, you would just poop like fluorescent.
Oh, that still happens. There's still dyes that are like that. I don't remember what I ate.
But that
had red in it, and I had a moment where I was like, "Uh-oh,
I'm dying!"
And I went, "Oh yeah." And then I remembered, and I'm like, "All right, just keep an eye on things, and if this doesn't go away in 24 hours, I've got a problem."
I'm pooping. Blood shit. I'm dying. Yeah.
And then there was another one that was very, very vibrant green, and that was more amusing.
You know what? For our younger listeners, if we have any, I had these moments every now and then when I was
sure.
It didn't even, it wasn't even that I was single. It was like I was just in my apartment by myself. So I may have had a partner, but they weren't there. And I was by myself, and I was like because of my insomnia, I had a lot of long nights, and I'd be in the middle of the night, and then something physically would happen, and you'd be like, "Holy shit, am I dying?" And it'd be something like that, where you'd poop bright red, and be like, "Am I dying?" And be like, "No, fucker, you had something earlier today. You had to bring down your own panic for a second so that you could just be like, no. You drank this today, or you ate that today. That's why this is happening. That's why you're having a weird effect. These aren't your final moments. But you get panicky because when you're on your own, and this is also, this especially happened to me when I was in grad school. So the internet was there, but it was, compared to today, it was still Wild West internet time, and you would try to look stuff up, but even the online resources weren't that good, and it's not like today where you can ask very specific questions and get very weirdly specific answers, But it's that moment where you're by yourself in the middle of the night and something happens and you're like, am I dying? And you know what? Do you ever have that thing in the middle of the night where you hear a big boom in the distance? I don't know if you. This is a dark.
Oh yeah, hold on. And I don't know whether it's that I'm falling asleep thing or if a transformer exploded.
No. But here's the thing. So this is a dark thought that I will share. I had these moments growing up, even when I was still living at home, but in my 20s, my 30s, and it's kind of stopped now. Mainly because I have a family now, so there's other people here. But being alone in the middle of the night, and you'd hear some kind of big boom in the distance, like a big boom where someone must have heard that, it was huge. And I would have this moment sometimes where I would think, and I think this is more so when we were leaning closer to the Cold War, where I'd be like, yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, did World War III just start? How long have I got till the wave of destruction hits me?
Sure.
And it was these are my younger years when I was in a much darker place sometimes, and I'd have been awake for too long, and I'd be writing, and then my brain would just be in a weird place. But I would have these thoughts, And the terrible thing is when you have these like weird dark thoughts in the middle of the night, and like there's nobody to confirm with. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, I wasn't going to call my girlfriend at 3:00 in the morning and be like, "Hey, have you seen a bright flash?"
Right. Yeah.
You know, and then you have to sit there and go, "Well, you know what? I'm just going to go back to playing video games."
Kind of. I mean, what else do you do?
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Because if it is a cloud, what are you going to do?
You're not going to outrun it. Where are you going to go?
Unless you know for sure. You don't want to wake your mother up in the middle of the night and be like, Mom, I love you. The cloud just went off. Because then your mother's going to start flipping out, and then you've killed everybody.
If I called my mother in the middle of the night and be like, there's been an atomic thing, she'd be like, go to bed. She'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I feel bad. I did that. I did that to my mom. So I slept through the first plane hitting the Twin Towers, right? I had a really bad night the night before, and I slept late. And my mother called me and woke me up, and she's like, "Hey, look at the news! They're like, somebody flew a plane into the Twin Towers." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Well, I mean, it was the same thing for me, except because I was on overnight shifts, so I was had just gone to sleep, been asleep a couple hours beforehand. And my mother, same thing, woke me up and said, "Hey, a plane hit one of the Twin Towers."
Yeah, and you're just
and I looked at the thing, and they had it on. I'm like, yeah, so some idiot flew a Cessna. Who gives a shit?
Oh, yeah,
and I was getting ready to walk, because, they didn't know what it was yet. They weren't sure it wasn't an accident. And then you're
like, oh, no. Somebody
And then I remember we were both looking at it when the second plane hit, and I went, oh, that's not a Cessna.
Yeah. No.
Because that was the one that kind of arced through the whole building, and you could see the flame, and I went, oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, but it
wasn't for a few days.
Oh, yeah, no, it wasn't. But that's the thing. It's like when somebody calls you and tells you something that's completely outlandish to that period of time, at first your brain goes, no. It's like, what are you talking about? And then you're like, no, really? O.J. Simpson was a real guy. It wasn't a TV show.
My reaction, which was,
he killed his ex-wife.
Dipshit flew his little plane into a building. It happens and in fact, I'm pretty sure within 3 months of that happening beforehand, some single pilot had accidentally flown their plane into a building and, broke some windows and died.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't even something that happened that rarely.
It's not an ideal way to stop the plane, no.
No. But that's what I mean is, it is much more common than most people want to know that small planes with single pilots or two crash a lot.
Yeah, but the point being,
for various reasons.
The point being that you just don't believe it at first because it's just so outside.
I just went, who cares? This is not national. Oh, yes, it is. It changed within the course of a minute.
I know, right? Isn't that weird as well? When you have like a complete emotional rearrangement where at first you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then a second later you're like, holy shit. Yeah.
No, I guarantee I could mimic right now, if somebody were looking at me, the exact tone of voice and expression on my face. Because I remember saying, so what? People fly into buildings all the time. And like, you woke me up for this face and into, oh no, that's not a little plane. Because like I said, the first view I saw...
And then you catch the second one, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, because the angle... I think it was NBC, if I remember, because she always watched NBC. It was the angle where the unhit building was in front. The other one was... So you just saw smoke.
Yeah.
Which, could be anything. And I remember her saying, no, they're saying it was a big plane. I'm like, no, they don't know what the fuck's going on. It just happened. And, then I had to shut up.
It's fine. Yeah.
Like, so what? A building could take a plane.
Yeah, well, man, I just watched something the other day too, where the Twin Towers were there, and my youngest actually said to me, "What are those?" I'm like, "This is the Twin Towers," and they're like, "Oh,
they were."
I'm like, and they said to me, "Those were real buildings." I'm like, "Yeah, it wasn't a mythological attack, like."
It's not like what is it, the Colossus of Rhodes or whatever.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I think sometimes my youngest is playing dumb with me just to like get my goat, but then sometimes.
But you're not really sure, are you?
But I don't know because I think they use it to cover the fact that they don't know certain things. Like my wife was terrible with geography, like really bad with geography. Her school kind of didn't do a good job of it, to the point of which that she thought there were coastlines in places that didn't have coastlines. And I just never imagined that, because she was like so intelligent in so many other places. It was just like an area that she had overlooked. You know what I mean? And I worry sometimes. So yeah. But I mean, yeah, she definitely didn't know who the Simpsons were. That was funny. Oh, God, yeah. You find your kicks where you can. What can you do?
This is true.
Oh, there, for a brief moment, I thought I wasn't recording, but there you go. I am recording. There you go.
See, that's why I always ask.
Yeah. I minimized it, and I was like, where'd it go? Yeah. It's right there. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
There are no problems. So,
good.
Well, the show is still here, and we're still recording. Do you have any interesting late nights or anything coming up soon?
I do. There is going to be another late night, but I'm not going to say specifics till I record it and it's done and nothing catches on fire.
Got it.
But there are two scheduled. So I have no issue believing that the individuals will show up, but I don't like to say anything more specific until the recordings are safe on a drive.
Got it. Yeah,
just in case.
Good.
But there are two. There should be one for July. There should be one for... It probably won't be until September, because I think we're recording in August. So there might be a month in between where there isn't. But there should be one for July. Yeah. Which could be very interesting, because it may contain a high level of deep, acidic sarcasm and cynicism.
More than usual? You know what? Actually,
well,
you know what?
More specifically directed, I guess.
I don't feel like we're hateful people.
I didn't say hateful.
Show. No, I know, but like there's like an angry spitting, like, cynicism.
Oh, okay. This will not be the person that I think you're thinking of that I might be talking to is not the person that I'm talking to.
Oh no,
there's a person that I've had on before who has got the darkest view of everything.
No, I know that, but
of anyone I've ever actually talked to.
I like to think that we still have a sense of hope, even when we talk about things that are terrible. But that there is a sense of hope.
I think you still have that. I'd like to believe it exists, but I don't know that I have it.
There's that, yeah.
But that's fine. Hey, 50% is better than nothing. So it is. Hey, look, I am espousing an optimistic view. I'm giving the glass half full view, even though my half is empty. That's fine. That's okay. I'm acknowledging that liquid does exist within the glass, which I think is something that most pessimists will not do. They focus on the emptiness rather than going, well, at least there's something in there. There's something in there. So there may be something in there. It's Schrodinger's glass half full.
It's funny. So I think I told you that we started watching that series Day of the Jackal, which is actually really well done. I give him credit. But there's but at one point somebody says something along the lines of, "Oh no, we need to find this guy and take him down because we're afraid that there's going to be copycat killers." And the whole thing is that he takes down a racist right wing, like German opposition leader, right? And they're like, "Oh no, we're worried that people are going to start shooting." And I was like, "They're worried that people are going to start shooting racist opposition leaders? Is that what we're worried about now?" This is after the whole Luigi thing, where they were like, "Oh no, people are going to start shooting rich CEOs. What will we do?" And you're like,
they're worried that who's going to get shot?
So he kills in the movie, the beginning of the show. Yeah. The Jackal kills a racist. It's like a racist German opposition leader in like the Congress or the Senate or whatever they've got. That he's somebody who's basically he's trying to become the prime minister, and he is like a horribly racist, kind of mean-spirited right-wing asshole. And somebody pays to have him assassinated.
That's the person that gets killed.
That's the person that gets killed. And the government
what's the problem?
Like, the government is worried that if they don't catch the killer, that other people will go, "Oh, we should start, shooting, killing our leaders that we don't agree with." Right? And I laughed because I was like, well, you think, right? And this kind of reminded me of the Luigi thing, where it's like after Luigi shot the CEO, they were like, "Oh no, they're going to start, killing rich CEOs around the country, and we have to make an example of him, and it's kind of like that idea,
Okay.
which I thought was funny. So they always what is it? The top always worries about the top,
Well, that's true.
and they only worry about the bottom in respect to the top, and that's not political, guys. That's just common sense.
No, it's not political at all.
So, but I find that show to be very funny. Not to mention the fact that nobody really comes off good in that show. So, the Jackal, honestly, this is going to be terrible. But I'm kind of rooting for the Jackal. I'm taking your position on this one. I'm kind of rooting for the assassin. But either way, the MI6 agent that's tracking him is kind of questionable in their pursuit. The intelligence service people don't come off very well. I mean, the Jackal, like I said, not a good guy necessarily. He kills people for money, but I kind of like his tact more than I like other people's tact. At least he seems to have kind of a code of things. But it's one of those shows where you're kind of sitting there going, I think everyone's going to be dead at the end of this.
Oh, wow.
And actually, it's funny because I have noticed there's this weird vibe of late in media where there's a subtle message about punishment. So we watched this show called what is it? The Bad Sisters. It's on Apple TV, right?
Uh-huh.
And the show is basically about a woman. She's I think she's the fifth sister, and she's married to this guy who is a horrible asshole. I mean, really just just horrid person. And the show, it takes place in two timelines. In the present timeline, he's dead. In the other timeline, he's alive. And you basically watch in these two timelines how in one timeline he's dead, and they're trying to find out if his death was a murder, and in the other timeline, the fact that her sisters want to kill this guy, desperately want to kill him. And it plays as a black comedy, right? And my biggest problem with the show is that it goes on too long. They already sold me on the fact that the guy was a son of a bitch and should die, halfway through the show, and then they went on more. And it was great when he finally dies. But the thing is, at the end of the show, I guess spoilers, they make it out like the sisters, they did it. And what you realize by the end of the show is that they all tried to do it and they all failed. And there was always some kind of a weird punishment, where karmically they'd be punished for it. And then what happened was the woman who was actually married to the guy found out that he had raped one of her sisters, and she strangled him to death. Right? They had an argument about it. He hit her. Now, when I say he hit her, it's one thing. I don't even know. It's in a movie. Usually, when a man hits a woman, they kind of slap them right across the face. He hard punched her in the stomach with a fist, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, my God. I was like, will someone kill this guy? And in the end, she strangles him, right? And I was fine with that. She kills him. At the end, she walks away with her daughter. Hopefully, they have a nice life. But money calls, so they made a second season. And in the second season, within the first couple episodes, they kill that sister. So I guess this takes place 2 years later or something like that. And she's engaged to marry a nice guy, and then she dies, and someone in there is talking about oh well, is it karma? Is it this? And I'm like, it's so fascinating to me how, in some weird way, whether they realized it or not, they felt that she had to be karmically punished. All the other characters got punished for wanting to kill this guy, and she did kill him, and then she dies. Right?
Is this the series with Eddie Raymond?
No, this is called Bad Sisters.
Oh, sorry. I was mixing up the Day of the Jackal.
Yeah, the Jackal is the series with Eddie Raymond.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right,
but the Bad Sisters
got
is
it. I was like, wait a second.
It's
the
on
second season hasn't come
TV.
out yet. What the fuck?
No, it's on Apple TV. And
I was getting mixed up because I'm like, did the spy punch her in the gut? Wait a minute, what's going on? All right,
you just missed the part where I said that we were talking about Bad Sisters on.
I did. Yeah. I did hear you say Bad Sisters, but I thought it was an episode title.
No.
I was mixing it up.
No, yeah. So this other show, but there's a whole thing in there karmically about how you get punished, right? And it's never spoken. It just seems to be the working idea. So then I think I told you earlier, when my wife and I watched that series, the the 4 seasons. And at the end of that show, the guy who breaks away from his marriage and basically starts a relationship with a younger woman and is happy dies. And I was kind of sitting there going, well, that's an interesting choice. I was like, why does he have to die? And there's lots of reasons for, like, well, shock value, this or that. I'm like, yeah, but it's just weird that, karmically speaking, the one person who is like, fuck this, I'm not going to do this marriage anymore, and left his wife and found a younger woman and was quite happy, is the character then that has to die. And I was kind of like, you know what? I think I'm just going to start paying attention to these weird little karmic, like, unspoken reinforcements. You know, where it's like, don't do that, because if you do that, bad things will happen. Don't leave your wife, because then you'll be bad and you'll die. You know, like, and it's not that, I'm not saying everyone should leave their spouses, but if you're in a marriage and you're genuinely unhappy, then you should leave. Don't stay in a broken marriage and have both people be broken. Walk away and try to find your happiness elsewhere. But karmically, he dies. And I've just started to notice this kind of, like, theme through just various different shows that are completely unconnected. This idea of people being karmically unspoken punished for whatever it is they did. You know? And it's kind of this general vibe of, stories say something about the storytellers. Right? So, what are we doing? Like, is this a return to some kind of, like, Christian guilt or something like that? I mean, the Irish show makes sense because Bad Sisters takes place in Ireland and there's a lot of Catholic guilt. So I could see that kind of vibe. But then, 4 Seasons takes place in the United States, I think in New England. So yeah, it's just a funny vibe, So when you're watching any kind of mainstream or like more mainstream movies, look for that vibe. See if there's like a weird, like almost like religious, a very subtle religious guilt baked in, where they're like, oh, people have to be punished for, breaking the rules, I guess. And what's weird is that, like, you're rooting for the sisters in this show to kill the guy because he is a horrible human being. He is a terrible person. But they systematically get punished for trying. So yeah, I mean, it's I got so annoyed with the Bad Sister show. I told my wife, I was like, you can watch this on your own. I was like, fuck this. I was like, they took the happy ending from the first season and they just wiped their asses with it. And I was like, I don't always feel the need for characters to have happy endings, but like when a character is like so abused, I was like, you have a whole series of her being abused by this asshole, and then she just dies in the second season when she should have the chance to be happy. I was like, fuck that, fuck this. I was like, I don't believe that. I'm gonna walk away with my own headcanon. And maybe that's because I still have hope. And maybe all these shows are being written by people who have none. But have you noticed that at all when you watch something where you're like, there's a weird punishment system set up here that no one's talking about, but it's kind of there floating in the background?
Well, it's interesting you brought this up unprompted, because I have a movie review for tonight.
Oh, God.
On something I only watched.
Okay.
As a bit of a preface,
I've been waiting for you.
Was it a Mila movie?
It's a Mila film.
Oh.
From 2025, titled Protector.
Oh, wait a minute.
Did you see this?
No, I didn't.
I guarantee you didn't, because you would have talked to me about it.
Yeah, because I thought we were going to watch this at one point.
Yeah, I originally did have this as a possibility, and then we never ended up watching it. And it's good that we didn't.
Oh, okay.
Because this movie, okay, there's a couple of things to say about it. So it's a very simple premise.
Is this Taken?
There has been okay, well, it is, but that's not my problem with it.
Okay.
That is the least of my problems with it. There's some kind of thing, and it feels like it's let's capitalize on the whole American right-wing uprising thing about child trafficking, because that's apparently I guess pedophiles are a really big deal to a lot of people on the hardcore conservative right, unless it's people they like, in which case they just try to ignore it as much as possible. But everybody else, it's a really big deal, and we should just tear down the whole country because of it or something. It's a psychotic obsession, which makes you wonder why they're so obsessed with it. But again, let's not get into politics. So there's a bunch of movies that have been made in recent years about human trafficking, specifically women and children. Which, again, you have to look at the subtext of that to be like, the weaker people, I guess. Not a lot about men being trafficked, I notice. Well, I'm sure that there is human trafficking of men. But, interestingly, nobody wants to make a movie about it. Because then they might have to look in the mirror and be like, wait. But anyway, let's get away from that. So this movie is, Mila is a mother who's a soldier. And actually, I like the opening a lot. I think the opening stumbled into some very, very interesting commentary on military life. Because Mila is married. She's over in various places, which, in an attempt to be non-specific, I think, again, they accidentally made a commentary about the government keeps sending soldiers into different places for really kind of vague reasons and just throwing the military around into conflicts, but they won't say what. I think because they don't want to ground it.
This guy understudied, I swear, under a few people. He was the second unit director on Man on Fire, the good one that we like
Tony
with
Scott.
the Tony Scott one. He directed Get the Gringo with Mel Gibson, which is like kind of a low rent, vicious a movie. He also directed Rambo: Last Blood.
Well, I haven't seen that one, so I can't comment on whether it's as unwatchable as this at times.
And then he was the second unit director on Apocalypto. And so is his direction horrible?
Well, it's not bad when you can see something.
Oh,
which is not much of the time.
Is he a camera thrower?
No. I mean, you literally can't see anything. Now, I understand that you don't want to have day for night because that looks terrible, but you can light scenes. And not just have it so dark that literally I have no idea what's going on in it. Okay, well let's start at the beginning, just because I got to break this thing into little pieces. So the opening is she's being sent around. She's a very young daughter, and the young daughter, she's calling on birthdays, and when the daughter is very young, she's much more understanding that her mom's not there. She says, "I know you're doing an important job," because she's very young, so she's not resenting anything yet. And as she gets older, her acceptance of this military role becomes more strained. And I'm like, that's good writing when they're young and they don't really get it because, dad's here, it's fine, I've got toys, it's okay. It's less of they're not aware as much of the missing piece because that's all they know. As the daughter gets older, you start to hear less happy about the mom missing birthdays. So then the father dies. He has leukemia, I guess, and dies pretty suddenly. And so she leaves the military and comes back home. And this is when the daughter is, I believe, 16.
Oh, that's not going to go very well.
No, it does not go very well. And Mila still refers to her like she's a little child. And like, there's all this stuff where you're like, yeah, because you weren't around.
Well, because she's never been a parent. Like, she's been a part-time parent for so long, yeah.
Yes, and her response to any type of contradiction or conflict is military, where she you can see her shift into a military mindset, and that's not going to work. So the relationship isn't all that great, but up until that point, I thought that's really interesting because you're kind of pointing out how miserable being in the military can be for somebody if they have anybody back home they care about. You're being thrown to all different places. You're missing huge important moments. In
general, it's the whole having a job that takes you away all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, period. It's not even not just military, just in general.
Yes, but that's not what the movie's about. I think it's accidental. It's just a way to set up all this time passing and why things are like they are. So anyway, she comes back home. The daughter, they have a birthday party, and the daughter's not happy about it because it's kind of kiddie-ish, and she says, I want to go out with my friends. And Mila's like, well, you're 16. And you can't go out late at night to a club with your friends, especially if there's drinking there. And the daughter gets mad, slams the door, and of course sneaks out. Sneaks out, goes to a club, at which point a guy drugs her, and they abduct her. And when the
that's
abduction happens...
That's a bit right on the head. The first time she goes out? Okay.
I mean, well, okay, I don't think it's the first time she's gone out. The first time her mother's home and she goes out.
Got it.
Because she knows the friends she's there with, and they just kind of lose track of her because she met a guy, and of course the guy is part of this thing. And when that happens, I actually thought this movie had a lot of potential because very uncharacteristically for something that's ripping off Taken as much as it is, when she realizes that the daughter's in there alone because she confronts the friend. She comes in, sees the guys dragging her, and she gets on the car and she kills one of the guys immediately. She's hanging on the car. She takes her keys, puts them between her fingers, and jabs the guy in the eye and kills the driver. And she's beating the fuck out of this car and the people in it. And I was like, holy
vicious.
Shit.
She goes vicious like right away. Yeah.
It was great at first because I'm just sitting here going, whoa, because normally she'd come in and there would be a girl and she'd turn her around and it wouldn't be her daughter and she'd realize, like, that's what they all do.
Yeah.
It's the thing where she thinks she stopped it just in time, but it's somebody. No, she sees him and she like runs and she like, the car's taking off and she sort of knows the city enough that she maps out how to get ahead of it by going down an alleyway and then jumps onto it and grabs the open window and she's beating the fuck out of them in the car as she's hanging on. And the guy in the car is going, what the fuck? Who is this fucking bitch? Like, he's losing his mind. And it's all really good. So I was sitting here going, holy shit. Is she going to rescue the daughter and then go to war on the cartel, which is fine. But then they take a hard turn and she comes off the car at one point, but recovers. But then the second time she hits her head and she gets knocked out. And they get away. And so then she wakes up in the hospital and immediately, realizes the daughter's gone, like tears all her stuff out and starts to like gear up because she knows enough about like we're underworld. So she starts going to brothels, like she's getting information. Okay, and she starts hitting all these brothels. And a lot of people get annoyed because the movie sort of jumps ahead after she's been doing this for a bit, which I'm fine with. It's okay because, it's a 90-minute movie and I know they're not going to be able to show everything.
It's not a miniseries.
No. So at this point, the cops are looking for somebody because she's hiding herself. And they know there's somebody they assume is a man. Which, the movie's a little heavy-handed with, what, a woman's doing this? I could do without that. I don't think you need to emphasize it literally in the dialogue, but okay, whatever. But they don't know who she is. And they only get clued in when she leaves a fingerprint behind and they realize it's her and that she has military training. And so now they start to kind of track her down. They put a tail on her and all the rest of it. So they eventually figure out where she is, right? And so they're looking for her, but she does get a lead and manages to find the house where her daughter is being held before being moved to the head of the syndicate. They call it the syndicate, which is a stupid name, but whatever. The head of the syndicate for his personal...
It's a generic name.
Yeah, it's fine. That's what I mean. It's generic. So she figures it out. She manages to take everybody out with a skateboard, which is awesome because she doesn't have access to weaponry because she knows if she goes and buys it, like she's being watched. So she knows she can't walk into a gun store and buy a gun. So she goes into a hardware store and buys a bunch of stuff. She buys a harness for a race harness for like a race car.
Yeah.
And a skateboard. And so what she does is she drives head on into this 2-car convoy wearing the harness so that she's protected and the rest of them like get bashed to shit even with the airbag because she hits them so hard. But the harness holds her so she gets jolted. But you also see her right before the impact. She puts her arms up and she kind of goes limp so that when the impact happens, she's not straining. Because that's what they say is the reason you get really fucked up is because you tense. And so your body's fighting the energy that's being released. Whereas if you go with it, you are still going to be injured, but not as severely because you're not bouncing against the energy. You're kind of rolling with it. That's why like parkour people, when they hit the ground, they roll.
Yeah, you roll.
You're just letting the energy dissipate. So then she gets out of the car with the skateboard and starts fucking wailing on people with the skateboard, just breaking their faces open. Then they have guns. So then she gets a gun and she shoots everybody. And she gets to the guy who's running the thing. And he's like, I'm not going to tell you anything. So she starts shooting him in the kneecap a bunch of times because that is one of the most painful places you can be shot and not die very quickly. So she's basically shooting him. Tell me. No, bang. Tell me. No, bang. Like, she's shooting him in the knees, which is fucking great. And then he finally tells her, and then she shoots him in the head and leaves him for dead. And then she hears a noise and sees that her daughter's in the trunk, gets her out, brings her back home, right? But the daughter is completely out of it. Like, he's not responding to anything. And she looks at her arms, and she's got track marks and everything. So at this point, you don't know whether she's like this because she's been abused and has been broken mentally.
Or drugs.
Or if she's so doped up that she can't respond to anything because that's what they wanted her to be like until they transport her. You don't know anything about that yet, but she's out of it. And you see her look at the window in her bedroom. And immediately, I know where this is going. They just showed us a window. And Mila says, I can't take you to a hospital because they're looking for me. I'm going to go to the pharmacy right down the road. I'm going to get some medication. I'm going to come back and I'll help you.
Does she kill herself?
No. Okay. Mila comes back and she's gone. The window's open. So at this point, I'm sitting here going, okay, so who took the daughter? Is this the cops got her out because they think she's a threat? Because the cops see her come into the house.
Did she go looking for drugs because she got addicted to it so quickly?
Did she go out because she's an addict? Or was the syndicate somehow know about her or see her on a camera at one of their clubs and they followed her and took the daughter back? At this point, I didn't know. I just knew as soon as I saw the window that she would be gone when she comes back, and sure enough, she's gone. At which point, the cops start to converge on her, and the SWAT team is about to bust in, right? And the captain is about to give the order, and in walks Matthew Modine playing Not Troutman. They then switch from Taken to now it's First Blood. I mean, when he walked in,
I saw him.
Laughed.
By the way, I saw him in the pictures for this movie. And I thought to myself, is he playing the Troutman of this movie?
Yes. He comes in and says, tell your men to stand down or she'll kill them all. And I went, oh my God, they've shifted into a different ripoff movie, which they do. Now, because what happens is the SWAT team backs off, but then the captain's very angry about the military telling him what to do with his own officers. So he basically goes into another room and he calls the guy on his cell phone and he goes, take her. Turn your cameras off and take her. And so they start to come down this side alley to go into the house, and Mila assaults them all and doesn't kill them, because otherwise you have a moral problem.
Yeah. Knocks
them all out, and then looks into one of the body cameras, and somehow, because body cameras usually don't have speakers on them, at least not speakers this good, but Not Troutman starts to talk to her and says, look, I need you to come in. I know what's going on, and I want to bring you in without any bloodshed. And she's like, no. I have to finish my mission. And then she leaves. Right? So.
At what point, I'm just curious, at what point did you sit there and go, not a good movie?
I was already, I was halfway there when Not Troutman showed up. Because then I went, holy shit, you guys are really just not doing anything original here, are you? But I was genuinely curious what was going to happen with the daughter because. You barely got her. She gets her back at the halfway point of the movie. And I went, well, there's no way that this is the end. Obviously, it's 40 minutes in. But then when she was so dazed, I'm sitting there going, oh, man, is this all going to end with the daughter, like you said, killing herself or being committed? Like, just gone. So all this shit's going on, and Not Troutman starts to get suspicious that the captain of the police precinct might be in league with the syndicate because he sure seems to be really hell-bent on having her killed. And does uncover, that, in fact, he's being paid off. So the captain was in on it and gets him arrested. And so that the next two, like the lieutenants or sergeants or whatever, go to Not Troutman and they say, okay, well, who is she? Who is this woman? Why are you so determined to make sure that we don't, that she doesn't get killed? And he says, she was our finest soldier, blah, blah, blah. She's commendated, decorated, blah, 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 all this stuff. And then her daughter, and her daughter's been abducted. And it happened, 2 days ago. And there's this whole thing. I forgot. At the beginning of the movie, you see Mila's talking to the camera, and she says, a kidnapping.
That she's an employee of Umbrella?
No, she's not. No. If I swear, the way the opening started, this sound and Paul W.S. Anderson produced the movie along with Mila. So
there you go.
Yeah. Well, actually, the first real giant alarm bell was. I started to count.
That's all you had to say. He produced it.
Before that came up, there had to have been 8 production companies named, and I went 1, 2, 3. I went if it's over 3. 4, 5, 6.
My
7,
name is
8.
Alice.
All right.
I work for the military.
I mean, it is that. She's looking into the camera and she says, my name is blah, blah, blah. When there's a kid that... I'm like, holy shit. And this thing comes up with a counter like 24 used to have, except it says 72 hours because that... I believe it's actually... I don't know if it is actually 72 hours, but there's an amount of time.
I thought it was 48 hours.
That's what I thought it was. But maybe with missing persons, it's different. What do I know? Where then the trail goes cold. So this thing is... They're cutting this time in and I'm sitting there going, okay, so they're leading up to something. But anyway, Not Troutman says... and then the sergeant's like, okay, well then, okay, we can just capture her then. If you don't want her to be killed, we understand she's a war hero. That's fine. Why don't you just let us take her in? Why do you have to do it? And he says, and he turns and he says, because it's not that simple. And then the movie cuts back and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. You don't say something like that unless there's a twist coming, right? Then now I know there's something happening.
A twist.
And I'm like, what is the twist going to be?
Oh, there's going to be a twist.
Yes. So now I'm starting to construct what the possible endings are, and I'm keeping them in the back of my head. And I'm going to wait till like the last. Usually, I try to guess at the last 15 minutes, depending on how the movie's structured.
She was dead all along.
Well, or that what we're seeing isn't as real time. I didn't know what was going on. So anyway, because it's just interesting that Not Troutman shows up.
Was her daughter dead the whole time?
Okay, so that was one of the things. I'm going, okay, is this all in her mind and she's not rescuing anybody? Is that what's going on? Because I'm sitting here trying to figure out what's going on. So she's working her way up and she gets to the Syndicate main hotel. And this is where the movie really gets technically awful. Awful. Because she's fighting in hallways and you cannot see what's going on, and not in an interesting way like where they do the thing where the hallway's dark and then you see where there's the flashes of gunfire and you see things.
It's not stylized.
No. And what makes it worse is she does seem to still be doing a lot of her own stunts from when I could see what was happening. The action scenes are choreographed fairly well. But
so why won't you let me see them?
Right. So then she gets to the top and she finds Big Boss Guy, who, of course, is, looks like a 30-year-old, handsome guy, not wearing a shirt and a robe, with a giant gun, and he's got the daughter, and he's got the gun to her head. And Mila's got a gun on him. And she says, something along the lines of, that's my daughter, I want my daughter back, and... I'm trying to remember what actually happens. Is there an explosion or something? Whatever. Something blows up and she gets knocked out. And then it cuts back to Not Troutman, right? And so at this point, I stopped the movie and I went, all right. What is this? Based on what I've seen up to this point.
What the fuck is going on here?
I went, all right, there's 4 things. 1... Oh, no, I remember. No. She gets the daughter back. I didn't pause it there. That's right. Because I'm like, no, I didn't pause it there. So she gets the daughter back, and then she brings her to the hospital, and the daughter is just like staring up and is not doing anything. And she's flipping out. She's telling the doctor, this is my daughter. This is her name. She's not allergic to anything. Please help her. Something's wrong. She has internal injuries, which I went, wait a minute. I don't remember them mentioning that before. Because she specifically says she's got internal injuries, which I don't know how she would have known based on what we've seen.
Yeah.
Unless she felt her body and realized something was wrong, which we don't see.
Yeah.
But she says that, and then she basically collapses from exhaustion. And then we cut back to Not Troutman, and that's when I paused it. But I forgot she was in the hospital. So I went, all right. Based on what we're getting here, either the daughter is going to die in the hospital. After all of this, she's going to get the daughter back. The daughter's going to die, right? Or the daughter's going to be in a padded room. Or we're going to find out that this is all like a construct of her mind from PTSD or something like that. or it's a happy ending. And that could, the happy ending thing, which seems like the long shot, but that could be considered a twist in a movie like this that's so serious.
Where it actually all works out?
Yes. So I'm like, it's one of these four. What is it going to be? So play the rest of the movie out. And it was none of those things, except it was kind of all of those things. In that, she did come back home.
Okay.
The daughter was abducted. She found the daughter. The daughter was dead. But she was so traumatized from it that she had retrograde amnesia, Memento style, where every time she wakes up, it's the beginning of the 72 hours, and every girl she rescues, she sees her daughter, but it's not, which is why the daughter escaped through the window. It was never her daughter. The daughter was dead after the first thing. But she's been going on the hunt for these people and dismantling them, which is what you assume is why Not Troutman keeps letting her out. Even though, if you think this movie 5 minutes past the ending, it makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm going to say,
that's what it is.
That is a complicated situation that a director would have to have very deft hands to foreshadow and explain so that it makes any sense. Is that what happened here? They have these minimal flashbacks where you see her when she sort of nods off for a second. You can't even really tell what it is. But when I went back and froze it, I'm like, oh, it's because it's in black and white. It's very dark. And it's a chair with a body in it with a sheet over it, like Whistler was in Blade. But when the first 3-4 times you see it, it's so far away, you don't know what the fuck it is. Unless you stop the movie, which most people won't, and go, what is that? Hold on, what is this? Let me zoom in on that. Oh, and then you might know. You might guess it was the daughter was dead, but it's in a completely black room, and all you see is the chair with a spotlight on it from overhead and a sheet. That could be anything. So, no, this movie is a fucking mess. I don't even care that it's ripping off Taken, then First Blood, then Memento, which is what it's doing. This is those three movies mixed together. The premise is Taken, Not Troutman is First Blood, and the whole idea of her just not remembering and going on the hunt for the same daughter every time, that's Memento. Memento, the daughter is John G. If you've ever seen Memento, spoiler, I guess, Memento ends and you find out that the main guy, Lenny, or whatever the hell his name was, he's just hunting different people that he's making himself think are the guy who attacked his wife. Yeah.
Well, even though they didn't, because in fact he's the guy who insulined his wife to death. So he's like secondary constructed a secondary personality or whatever. Equally nonsensical, but that movie's so well done you don't care because it's
because it was handled
crafted
by a careful director who really set it up.
Who later disappeared up his own ass, but that's a different story.
Yeah,
in this movie, it is not handled well. Because the first half of the movie is Taken, right? But she has this psychological collapse halfway through the movie, right? You can't do that halfway through the movie. I feel like you need to start the movie where she has already collapsed and then kind of like cleverly backstory everything to that point so that you know that she's already not a trustworthy narrative. You know, she's not providing a trustworthy narrative. And what they're trying to do that without making it that they're doing that, which is where you cut back to her with the timer and she's talking to somebody, but you never see who. Yeah. But the only real allusion to that is when they cut away from Not Troutman saying it's not that simple. But even that is very clunky. It's very, very bad. And it doesn't... I am sure that the people involved in making this thought they were being clever. They were not.
Listen, storytelling, you always want to be clever. You always think that your jokes are funny. Like, that's one of the things, like, humor and drama are very difficult. Because, did you read about Sean Penn doing that movie about, like, he was directed this movie about doctors falling in love in, like, Africa.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called, but that's a bizarre story.
Yeah, and then when the audiences were laughing at, like, the melodrama of it because it was, like, so over the top. And, like, everybody was just in this, like, they were unsure how to handle the press afterwards because people had been laughing at this movie. this very serious movie. And it was almost like it was too serious. It was like Sean Penn had crawled fully up his own ass. So that in itself is difficult. Knowing when you get it right is difficult. But you know what? There should have been test audiences. And here's the thing. Yeah. Maybe for someone not you, this movie would be an enjoyable enough fast food entertainment. They'd watch it, drink a few beers, and be like, all right, whatever. You know, meal around, kill things.
And I would agree, except that there's large portions of what would be the most satisfying thing for most people, which are the fight choreography scenes, that you can't see.
Well, that's just poor decision making.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what breaks that. Because even I said this in my short review, I'll say it again. I don't care that it's a ripoff of Taken, First Blood, and Memento. That doesn't bother me at all if the movie's watchable. It is literally, I'm not exaggerating, literally at times unwatchable. And what compounds that error, or whatever, is that the action scenes, when you can see them, like when she confronts the guys with the skateboard, that's in broad daylight. That's great because you see everything and it's not jerky cam. It's not edited badly. It's just that you can see it and it's choreographed well enough.
Well, man,
the fight scenes in the hallway, maybe they're really good.
Okay.
I couldn't fucking tell you because I couldn't see them.
She was the star and her husband was the producer. You knew that it was already... That's like the kiss of death lately.
He wasn't the director, though, so I thought
he was,
maybe.
He was the producer, yeah.
Well,
yeah. I mean, and listen, maybe this script in the hands of a more art house. I mean, honestly, this should be like an A24 movie. Like,
sure.
If you want to give me that kind of twist, sure. or it's just got to be a better director. You know, but it feels weird.
Something.
No. Taking it out of the movie context and just thinking of the story as a story, right? I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't switch gears on the main character to that degree halfway through the movie. Like, and the thing is, like, miniseries rules are different because you can do a lot of shit in miniseries that you can't do in movies because you have more time.
Yeah.
But for a movie to get halfway through and be like, this is Taken, and then be like, but halfway through it's like, you know, imagine if the first half of well, you know, actually that's a good point. The Sixth Sense, right? Mm-hmm. There is a period in that movie where it's never it's never a comedy or a romance, but there is a period in that movie where you think that Bruce Willis wants to get back together with his wife, and that what this movie is about is a kid who thinks he can see ghosts and a psychologist who's trying to get his life put back together, right?
Yep.
The movie then kicks you sideways and goes, oh, no. He's been dead the whole time, right? And you're like, oh, shit. But here's the thing. When you look at it, then makes you watch the movie over again and go, oh, yeah, you know what? It makes total sense. They never speak to each other. Say what you will for M. Night Shyamalan now.
Oh, no. That movie is impeccably filmed.
That movie is well done, right? And it is that idea that he switched things up on you, right?
Look, the two movies that do this concept the best are that and Fight Club. Where when you rewatch it and you know what to look for, you're like, oh, look at that. It was right there the whole time.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. So this idea, but they basically wanted to give you... they wanted to front end an action movie and then back end. They wanted front end Taken and then back end like Sixth Sense. They're like the little girl was dead the whole time. She's just been chasing ghosts, really, and then thinking, you know, and it's like, you know, and it. So yes, it's a bad script.
Sorry,
Mila.
If it was
sorry, Mila, it's a bad script.
And that also, this is also what annoys me. I think her acting is good, where she's breaking down. They don't make her invulnerable because as she goes on, she gets more and more bloodied and fucked up. And then finally just collapses because she's been mainlining some kind of military drug. They show her where she says, I can't go to sleep. And you think it's because she doesn't want to give up on getting the daughter. And then you realize it's because she has some awareness. that she's going to reset. It does add something, the fact that she's insistent on not being asleep.
Out of curiosity, do they fix her by the end of this movie?
No. That's okay. So here's the biggest problems. It's not the ripping off. It's not the doomy ending. I don't mind the switch. The switch is fine. It's a way to switch it. I think it was not as elegantly handled as possible, but the way you would make that up is if the movie was filmed with all the fight scenes very well done. You would let all this other stuff go. If there was a consistent, strong point to the movie, you let the weak points go. And then what compounds all of this is basically not Troutman's narration. He says, she believes every day she wakes up, she resets the timer, and she won't stop until they're all dead. And then the timer comes back up, and you go, wait a minute. You just told the cops what she's doing. What do you mean she's not going to stop? Now they're going to shoot her because she's a serial killer. You just described a fucking murderer.
Yeah.
Because, okay, they're bad guys, but there's no trial, right? What are you talking about? And the way he says it is, he's literally giving the Terminator. It's just a little bit of Terminator ripoff. He's doing the Terminator narration at the end. And I'm sitting there going, that's not how the world works. Right, you don't tell the cops that.
Just let her kill, guys. It's okay. Just let her do it.
Yeah, you know where you do that narration? That's the syndicate guy gets away. Doesn't get killed, gets away, throws the daughter at Mila, gets away. Then we cut to a month later, and he's got not Troutman tied up. And he's explaining why. No, seriously, this is how you could at least make the ending make sense. He's got not Troutman somehow tied up. And he's like, tell me where to find her. She dismantled my whole organization. All I have left is I'm going to kill her before I get captured or whatever. And Troutman's saying, you're not going to be able to stop her because you don't understand. It's not just you. This is her whole life. And then she's not going to stop until you're all dead. And then you hear shooting in the hallway and the drug guy or the boss turns around panicked and the movie cuts to black and the timer comes up. Okay, that's stupid too. But it's acceptable.
Yeah, to make this work, to make this idea that she's always pursuing, right, you'd have to start with the fact, that she's already broken. And then you'd have to somehow thread honestly, every time, actually, the way I would do this is, every time she falls asleep, right, she dreams a little more of the backstory, right? And then the movie continues. So you're not fully sure what's going on. And then by the end, the last dream is her finding her daughter dead.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they did, except the each part of the dream was just you getting a foot closer to this chair that was a mile away. Instead of all the stuff she was doing to get up to the daughter being dead. It's really just a chair.
This is what happens when you don't have good writers, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Mila can do a good job. Her husband can do a good job as producing, and this director has done other movies that are halfway decent.
Yeah, so that's what pissed me off is...
Bad script?
She's good in it when you can see her and she's acting. And again, she's been dropped, and maybe it is as simple as she just wants a paycheck and doesn't really care about this. Okay, well then that at least explains it, because man, oh man. Otherwise, her husband's dumping her into some fucking terrible stuff.
But, how old is Mila?
But if she doesn't care, then she doesn't care. She's 2 years older than me, so she would be 50. I know that because she's age appropriate for me to be into all this stuff.
Age appropriate?
No, seriously, because there's guys who look at 18-year-old girls in movies and they're like, oh, she's hot. And I'm like, you're fucking gross. Like, no. But I'm safe in Milaville, man, because she's older than me.
I'm sure you'd love to be safe in Milaville. So what I'm saying is, not my cup of tea.
I've been waiting for you.
She's waiting for you. So she is going into this age range now for female actresses where they're getting less of the roles they want. Like, so I was reading a thing a while back about this. It's like the second you turn 40 in Hollywood, suddenly they're offering you like grandma roles. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. For women, it's over. Yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that she's 50 and she's still doing like action movies, right? that is great. It's great that her husband is producing movies and she is doing action and it's still fun. The downside is no one seemed to want to like put the money up for a decent script. Or, you know what? This is my bigger fear. That nobody knew whether it was a good script or not. I have this fear that people look and go, well, we don't really need a script. We'll just film something. Or they read a script and they're like, yeah, this is good enough. And you're like, is it? Is it good enough? Like, there's a reason that some writers, are good and some are not. And this was a whole not situation. And the thing is, if you have a great cast and you have, decent direction and you have a shit script, it's still a shit movie.
I agree, because I think this could have been a very good vehicle for her. Even if the script sucked, even if the script was unchanged. Yeah. If all the fight scenes were as good as the one in the beginning where she's jumping on the car, which is legitimately awesome, because it is surprising.
So it's sad is that the first half, if they had just kept it as a Taken ripoff, it would have been better.
Yes, it would have been better.
Man. You know what? Write a letter, dude.
I know. Or if the hotel fights had been lit properly. I mean, then I wouldn't care about all the rest of it. I'd be like, whatever, man. She's wiping people out, and she looks awesome. Who cares?
This reminds me, a lot of the Anne Hathaway movie that we watched, Colossal. Yeah, where I was reading about that movie, and Anne Hathaway wanted to do something different, and she saw this script, and she was like, "Yeah, I want to do something different." And I think it was that kind of thing where, rather than do a movie where she was just an alcoholic who gets her life together, she was like, I want to do a movie about an alcoholic who gets her life together. And there's the whole metaphor about giant fucking kaiju. Okay, sure. Someone will enjoy that movie. Whereas in this situation, they were like, hey, we're going to rip off Taken, but then we're going to switch gears halfway through and go like, Sixth Sense, Rambo, and they looked at it and they're like, yeah, that's different. And sometimes that's it. Sometimes if it's just different enough, it makes just enough money, they live to fight another day. I mean, isn't that the Kevin Smith motto? I get a low budget and I live to fight another day because my movies make just enough money to keep going.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Hold on, let's see. How much did The Protector make?
Can't imagine it. Well, what do I know?
I'm looking at it up right now.
Did it even get a theatrical release? I just can't imagine.
Doesn't matter. Well, let's see. It grossed just under $2 million worldwide on its theatrical run with an estimated production budget of $400,000. There you go. They spent $400,000 making this movie, and they walked away with $2 million. So, really? That can't be right. $400,000? That can't be right. That can't be right.
Based on what I saw, it could be. There's really nothing that would cost that much. It looked like they filmed it in like Arizona or someplace, or maybe L.A.
$400,000? That would be one of the cheapest like modern movies we've seen in a while. Holy shit!
Let's see. Hold on.
That can't be right at all. And I'm seeing that in several places too.
Well, I mean, that could be the reported budget. Who knows?
I mean, listen, if they made that movie for $400,000 and then they made $200 million on it, then yeah, I mean, they seem to have figured out some kind of weird math. I mean,
interestingly, that number is not on the Wikipedia.
It's not? Okay.
It does not say 200,000.
It's on IMDb.
It says 2 million. It does say 2 million, but not the budget.
IMDb has a $400,000 estimated budget.
Yeah, IMDb has become... I wouldn't trust anything IMDb says, honestly.
Hold on one second.
I mean, it could be right, but now you have to pay for access. There's all this garbage going on.
Okay, so I'm reading something else that says that they think that $400,000 is completely wrong, and that the movie, they estimate that the movie cost $10 million. Then it is a flop. Yeah, it is a flop then.
I mean, that yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find, because there's another Protector movie that comes up a lot, which is a Mad Max ripoff from 2025 called The Protector, which is hilarious. Ravaged by water wars, famine, and drought. I know what you're doing there. Got it. Thanks. I got it.
No, yeah, see, I can't. No way. There's
Here
no way
here's Rotten Tomatoes. Do they have budgets? Let's take a look. Ooh, boy. I mean, well, what do I know? Does it have anything on budget? No, there's nothing about budget here. So I don't know. I mean, interestingly, it has a fairly good audience rating, 3.7 out of 5. So, I mean, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe.
Listen, this goes back to the not aliens, the Resident Evil thing. You know those last bunch of movies? Why did they keep making those again? Because they kept making money, regardless of whether we thought they were any good. They kept making money, and that's the thing is, if a movie will make money, they don't give a shit. They'll just keep making more. And if you don't hold them to a higher standard, then they won't rise to that standard because they don't have to.
Here's an interesting thing I'm picking up on the audience reviews.
Yeah.
A lot about important topic to tackle. See, there's something going on with this. That's coming up a bunch. Twist saved the movie. So, yeah, maybe for people who aren't watching a lot of movies, sure. And then the terrible ones are all 1 stars about how bad it was and derivative, and storyline is couldn't see it. Worst movie of 2026. I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's the worst movie. Too graphic, too violent. Okay, what'd you think it was? See, some of this you have to write off. So, you know
what? Listen, the second you said that her husband produced it, I was no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay, yeah, see, only intermittently redeemed by Milla Jovovich's ferocious performance amid its otherwise ridiculous and uninspired execution. See?
We loved her action shit in fucking Ultraviolet.
I know.
Movie is a train wreck.
Honestly,
but she is incredible in that role.
That's the part that pisses me off the most, is I don't care about the rip-off. No, I don't care about any of that shit. I didn't get to see her beat the fuck out of a lot of people in a hallway. Or multiple hallways. Yeah. The whole hotel thing is so... And here again, this is my thing I say. The opening's very good. The ending is not. They should have had the power at the end, and then I would have not cared about the opening. So I'm sure this is dirt cheap to rent. If you're like me, and your bias is going to lead you to this anyway, just know going in that maybe when she gets to the hotel, take the contrast on your TV and crank it to 1,000%, so that maybe you, unlike me, we'll see what the fuck is going on. So there you have it. I'm glad I didn't make us watch it. I think you would have laughed and I would have been annoyed.
Oh man, the second his name popped up in the
that's
credits,
what I mean. Yeah, you would have.
I'd have been like, "Oh, we're watching Resident Evil Taken."
Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
I mean, that's what it is.
You're not wrong.
And listen, let's be very clear. I just have to reiterate this. I'm not rooting against Milla at any time.
And obviously I'm not.
Yeah, it's just that they don't make good movies.
I know.
I can't do anything about that.
And the thing that also I just sit there and go, okay, this is just what it is now, is because based on these movies,
yeah,
I don't see somebody like Nolan coming to her thinking that she can do anything because she's made so much of this stuff. So it's like, okay.
That's one of the other things that happens now.
Yeah.
Too, is that if you get mired because
yes.
You keep doing
she's
going to
get tagged as, the Resident Evil woman.
She's a B-movie actress, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that to me is a shame.
She'll be in a movie with Stallone at some point where he plays her dad.
She's going to be somebody's grandmother someday.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm serious. That's what they're going to do.
Action grandmother?
Yeah. No, not even action. I think she's just going to be somebody's mom.
Well, she will, because that'll be the role that they offer to her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right? I mean, that's what it comes down to.
And it's gonna end up being a shame because you're gonna know that the years of her life where she could have been making Cynthia Rothrock type, not literally, she was never been as skilled as Cynthia Rothrock. She's not a martial artist, but what I'm saying is, it's gonna be the same squandered potential there. I'm not saying that maybe she doesn't care that she's able to afford to have a house and her kids and all this.
I think that just the gross generalization, but I think just about every actor has a part of them that really wants to be doing, high art, memorable, Oscar-winning performances, right? Yeah. But when they do the movies that pay their bills and keep them living a life of luxury, they can't fucking complain either. You know, and it's like the Will Smith thing. You know, Will Smith would make all these fucking like horrid movies for like he made was it Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2 and Bad Boys 3. And then in there he would make some other movies like oh god, what was it? He did another one where it's like about somebody's life story about being homeless and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, he made the money doing these big budget movies, but he really wanted people to be like, oh, you're an artiste. And you get these sometimes. Whereas, like, Tom Cruise is at that point where he's like, I'm making action movies and I'm fucking crazy, you know? And you're like, okay, Tom, just keep on going. It's cool. Go ahead, keep making. Buddy? Oh, you're on. Was it Mission Impossible 15? We're good, man. Just keep going. Yeah, do that stunt. Yeah, do that stunt where you come back from the dead. Yeah. Sure. But I think and listen, both of us. There's an easy way to take this and kind of metabolize it to your own system, which is to say, would I like to write a book that people would be like, oh my God, your book moved me. I felt your book in my heart. I'd be like, sure, there's a part of me that does that. But is there also a part of me that's like, I'd like to get paid? And it's like, yeah, which of those do you want? Because very often, they aren't the same book. And it's the same with your art. You know, you can make a ton of money doing commercial art, or you can make a painting that actually moves somebody to the point that they shit themselves. I shat myself with joy when I saw your illustration, and you're like, holy shit. But that might not pay your bills. So it's like, who do you want to be? And I think that, this is the whole, what is it, the Madonna whore complex? This is kind of the financial Madonna whore complex. We were like, yeah, we all want to be the Virgin Mary, the unflappable Madonna. But then, we kind of have to be a whore to get paid. So, Mila, you can spread her career out into those two sides. And I think Mila's at this point now where she's getting less performances, and her husband is creating performances for her. And it's not that Mila is bad. It's just that Mila is 50, and Hollywood seems to be phobic of older women.
Yeah. Guess so.
So, you know what? See if you can get that on the list for your movie club.
What? This movie?
Yeah. Actually, you know what?
No.
I'll tell you this. You know how we were talking to... Every now and then we talk about people who watch other people watching movies, right? Mm-hmm. It's movies like this that I'd like to see somebody watch just so I could be like, did you love this? Or did you look at it and go, what the fuck is this? Because you and I aren't normal. So we don't know. We don't know what the reaction is going to be.
Well, look, the movie has a lot of very, very glowing reviews. So obviously some people think it's good.
Yeah.
And, again, if human trafficking is an important subject to you and this is about a woman who just keeps killing human traffickers,
get a better script writer. Get a better script writer.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. I really feel like they were like, well, we can't get, if we're going to get sued for being taken, okay, then we'll kill the daughter. Problem solved. Okay. So anyway, that's it. I don't like doing bad reviews of Mila movies.
I know you do.
I really, really, when I read, I was like, oh man, as long as she's beating people
listen,
up.
Write her a letter and let her know because it's her fault.
It's not her fault.
She is doing this shit to you, my man.
The thing is, I don't know how the script read, and I don't know that what they filmed was the script.
Oh, did they just fucking gut it? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, but I don't know what happened. But the thing is, there are movies where when you see the actors and they're talking later, like, "Hey, man, when I read the script
was amazing.
It did not read like this." Yeah,
oh, it was fantastic.
Or the inverse is Buckaroo Banzai, where Peter Weller said, "I read that script and it was dog shit." And then he sat down with the guy, and the guy went through it, and he's like, okay, now I see what it is. It just doesn't read that way. And he knew that the movie was going to be something, one way or another. So he went, no, I'll do it because you talked about this thing to me. But as they read it, almost nobody was going to do it.
It felt like the director could pull it out of the fire.
Yeah, that's
that. And sometimes that
the
happens.
difference between the page and
sometimes
making it into something else.
And sometimes it doesn't. So, we should probably move on to our actual movies.
You want to do the movies first, or which do you want to do first?
Yeah, man, we actually have a lot of shit. We actually have a lot of crap to get into.
Yeah, what do you want to do first?
Oh man, it's tough because
I don't care. I'm just asking.
Motherfucker, we're gonna be here for the rest of the night. Okay. Let's do Lane. Unless you want to leave it for next week.
You're watching Saturday Anime on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, I grabbed the sci-fi anime bumper just because I like it. Because that's probably going to be something we're going to be doing on the side now. As it occurred to me, there's a lot of these series that are actually very short in terms of overall time, so you can like knock out episodes in between instead of doing a third movie. And that way we're doing the review at the end of it, of the whole thing. So yeah, Lando and I watched Serial Experiments Lane, which is... This is the third time I've seen it. Is this the second time you've seen it?
This is the second, but I hadn't watched it in like 20-something years. I mean,
okay, so the first time I watched this was probably about 20 years ago. Some point in college. I know it was, I don't even remember when, but it was, it came out in 98, I believe, or somewhere around there.
I mean, I used to own the whole set too, yeah.
I own the Blu-rays now. I never owned this. I remember watching it the first time, either on the Sundance Channel or on IFC Ran It. And I remember watching it and going, whoa, this is different. And I remember liking it, but then it was one of those things I always meant to go back and rewatch. Never remembered to. And then, as I told you, the last time I watched it was on the plane to New York for the holidays in 2019, right before the pandemic. So I watched it on the plane. And then I meant to, again, I was like, okay, watching on a plane probably isn't the best way, but I was, it was easy to just kind of do bite-sized things, watch a couple episodes, get up, walk up and down the aisle so my legs didn't start cramping up, sit down, watch a couple more. So got through the whole thing. And then this was then the third time. And this was really prompted because I'd seen somebody did a deep dive on Lane in general because I didn't know this at all at either of the other times I watched it. But that this was one of the first, along with The Matrix, really, these attempts to do a story that can work in multiple mediums. So they made a game out of it. They made a book out of it. And all of them are sort of different variations on the central theme. And they have parts that relate, but they also work independently. And that's why the series, to some degree, is a little bit ethereal as far as what's going on, is because they wanted the latitude to let different creators explore the idea in different formats and not have anything directly contradict any of the others, which is a tricky balancing act. It's not easy to do it. In fact, most of the time it doesn't work. But in this one, I think that it is amorphous enough. Most people will say this is the definitive thing, the anime. It is generally the one that, the PS1 game is, from what I understand, next to unplayable because it's so weirdly constructed. But it does tell some interesting storylines that do tie into what we watched. Like the kid killing himself. There's a whole thing about the gun appearing in the past, like in Lane's past, something like that. There's all this shit that goes on. So there's like crossover stuff. And then the book stuff, I'm not really clear on what they did with the writing for the book and everything else, but it was meant to be something like that. So the general overview is this young 14-year-old girl named Lane. There's a suicide cat starts off the series in her school. And Lane herself is at the very least very shy. Or something else.
Oh, she's definitely on the spectrum.
Well, whatever. She could have a mental illness. She could be on the spectrum, which is not the same thing.
And that ties into the interpretations of this, because this
Yes.
whole show is either about somebody ascending to kind of a digital godhood, or a schizophrenic losing their battle with their mental illness.
Right. Or it also could just be as simple as the personas people take on the internet and how they might get too wound up in them. There's no way to know what's really going on unless you take the series at face value, in which case the easiest way to explain it, spoiler alert I guess, is that a young girl finds out that she, much like Neo in Matrix Reloaded, has this enhanced ability to merge the corporeal physical world, planet Earth, and the wired, which is internet world.
Hold on. I'm going to add to that, though, because they do say that it's not just the internet world. The internet world is basically just a part of what they theorize is the collective unconscious. It's just part of it.
Well,
that's the thing. Because at first, when they say internet, you're like, yeah, but the internet hasn't been around forever. Like, why is it suddenly so important? And in the show, they tie it into this idea that this version of the internet that they've created is actually tapped into the kind of general collective unconscious of society, and that's why Lane occupies more than just a digital space.
It also depends on whose version of what's going on you choose to embrace.
Well, it's all
because
you can interpret.
There's a character. Yeah, there's a character who says that the internet existed before humans did, or the Wired did, I guess, and that it's been contextualized into this because of the collective unconscious. And then there's other ones who are like, no, humans made this. It's a byproduct of human existence. Whatever it is, again, you are free to interpret a lot of this however you want, because at a certain point, there are 3 different versions of Lane that exist, or not. Is it aspects of her personality that are dependent on who she's interacting and how she's interacting with them, or are there 3 of her running around? Unclear. But the very end of it would seem to show that Lane believes, I'm going to use that word, that she has reset the entire world to rid it of the pollution of the Wired and her presence inside of it.
Yeah.
So she's essentially removed herself from the equation because she seemed to be causing problems.
Yeah, so let me get into the more nitty-gritty here for you.
I will let you take it from here.
Well, yeah, because saying that this show is about a thing is difficult. So it is about the stuff that Joe said. This is a very demanding show. It requires an attention to detail. You cannot sleep through this show. This isn't one of those shows that you watch an episode half asleep. You know, you'll fucking miss shit because there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of callbacks. And I feel like the show starts off strong, but it gets a little lost in the middle. It gets a little lost because they don't want to tell you what it is. I mean, Joe was saying how they were trying to tie this into a book and a game. So, they don't want to, come right out and tell you. So, at times, the show can be irritating because they'll never come out and say what it is. I feel like the show ends strong and starts strong, and then it has that classic problem where the middle is just a little bit muddled and weird. There are moments, I think it was episode 7. Episode 7 saves the middle of the show because they give you a lot of information and you go, oh, okay. And it's like a buoy to hold on to in the midst of everything that's going on. But unlike a show like Lost, that kind of hinted at a lot and then, it really wasn't that creative. This show hints at a lot and then it is a lot. And it starts out very normal and completely fucking loses its mind. And I mean, really, I'd say the last 2 episodes just get abstract as fuck, where you're kind of moving transiently through the real world and the wired world and the collective unconscious, and Lane is arguing with herself and bumping into people at different timelines, and she's seeing this one girl when she's older and when she's younger, and then she basically wipes everyone's memory of her from the world because her whole... someone says at one point that she's an application, and she realizes that to some degree her presence is screwing up a lot of things. So her solution, and this is why I think that Lane is a little high functioning autism, because I've worked with people with autism a little bit, and there is a kind of logic, a straightforward logic that I have found that autistic kids have. And it's the whole, they look at the information, maybe this is high functioning kids, they look at the information, they make a decision, and they say, you know what, I think that's what it is, and I'm going to act on that. Right? So, like, Lane is pretty isolated by the end of it. She doesn't know who to turn to. And all she knows is that she has fucked things up. That her friend is afraid of her. That her family is, her parents have disappeared, and her sister is, I don't even know what the hell her sister is. Fucking broken zombie? I don't know. Her sister is one of the most disturbing things in the whole fucking show to me. And what happens to her. Because it's so arbitrary and awful and never gets explained. That irritates the hell out of me. But Lane looks at all this and says, you know what? My solution is that I'm the problem. And without any other recourse, she yanks herself completely out of seeming time and space. And they said that like, you know, she was kind of connected to everything, and that it's not really the internet because it connects back to before the internet. It connects back to kind of all kinds of things. And so she yanks the complete presence of her out and resets the world. And so her family is fine. Her sister's normal again. The girl that became like her only friend has a decent life. She goes forward in time and sees her older, and everything's okay. And like it's this kind of, and she's not. What's interesting is that she's not happy about taking herself out, but she feels that it's the most logical conclusion. And the last episode is all about whether or not she's a god, which is interesting. I didn't think they could do that for a whole episode, but it's like, yeah, for 20 minutes, it's like Lane arguing with herself over the nature of godhood and what she is. So I'll say that this show is kind of what I thought was going to happen after the first Matrix movie. When you told me that Neo could break the fucking Matrix, I thought that Neo was going to break the goddamn fucking Matrix. I didn't think that we were going to get 2 more movies of chop suey motorcycle action, and that he was just going to fly. I thought that Neo had like basically become fully Zen and become some kind of god of the Matrix. Which I know he is some kind of god of the Matrix, but not the way Lane is. Lane is everywhere. Lane is everywhere and can communicate with everybody anytime. I mean, so I wouldn't tell anyone to watch, like, I wouldn't just tell anyone to watch this show, because I think it is a demanding show. It needs you to have patience and pay attention and be willing to get fuck off weird. Which it does. On the other hand, it does it in very digestible 20-minute chunks, which I think works really well, because if each of these episodes were like an hour long, I think it would have destroyed me. I think they kind of get to it. You know, what is it? This is 13 episodes? What is that? What is it all together? I can't do
13 roughly 20-minute episodes. Yep.
I can't do 13 by 20 in my head. My math is not that good.
Oh, well, 3 would be an hour, so 3 times 3 is 9. That's 3 hours. It's about 4.5 hours.
260 minutes.
Is that 4.5?
If I tried to sit down and watch this as a 260-minute movie, I would have gone crazy. So the fact that it's 13...
24. 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours.
Yeah, the fact that it's 13 20-minute episodes, it's very digestible. It's over before you know it. You get a little bit of a break. I mean, we watched it in like 60-minute chunks, right? And that was still okay. But yeah, it's heavy. It's very heavy. And it's up to you to fully decide, which is something that people fucking hate. It's up to you to fully decide what's going on. They give you all the details. They give you all the leads. But at the end of the day, they never right out say, this is what has occurred. there's always a question of, this is what may have occurred. Well, you might be this. And you kind of have to decide. And I like that. Because, it could be somebody with schizophrenia inevitably, succumbing to their disease. It could be someone ascending to a digital kind of trans internet collective unconscious godhood. And I'm sure there's a lot of other crazy haywire theories as to what it could be. It is astounding that they were able to do something as weird as it is, and yet keep it as not up its own ass. And that is one of the things that I'm most impressed with this show, is the fact that at no point am I watching it thinking, this is just fucking claptrap. Fuck these people. Like, it doesn't get enamored of itself. If anything, there's always this like kind of pained struggle to the character. Because, at no point do you feel like Lane is doing this. It always feels like this is happening to her. And in that respect, there is a bit of like a horror movie to it, where it's like, this is happening to Lane. Lane was perfectly happy being just a middle schooler and doing her thing. And then all of a sudden, the world gets turned upside down. She didn't want this. So I enjoyed it. Like I said, I had the box set for years, and you have to be patient to watch this. You want to be patient and willing to accept some weird and some absurdity. Thoughts?
I agree with all that. I think it's definitely something where you're going to have to decide what things make sense. You can accept it all on the surface level. I do think, unlike a lot of people who think that it doesn't have an ending, I don't know what the hell they're watching.
Oh, no. I think it's got a great ending.
I agree. That's why I don't understand people who say, well, it doesn't explain anything in the ending. And I'm like, it does. Now, whether you think it's satisfactory or not, or whether there's contradictions, yes.
Yeah, the problem is...
I think that's intentional.
The problem is wanting everything completely explained. And I don't think... If even the main character doesn't fully know what's happening to her, then you don't get to know either. You're along for the ride.
I think that's part of why the series is actually very good, is because not everything lines up with one particular explanation. It allows for at least 3 or 4 different interpretations, and I'm sure you can go even further, depending on how you want to look at it, because I like I said, I could see this as none of this is in fact real, quote unquote. This is all a young child becoming enraptured by the internet of the time, which back then...
Oh, is all a metaphor?
Well, no, that her online persona, she's absorbed as herself. So all of this is her sitting in a room at a computer.
Do you want some theories?
Sure.
Okay. So there's the technological singularity.
Where are you getting these from?
This is from a series of videos on YouTube.
All right, go ahead.
Called the Insane Psychology of Serial Experiments Lane, Collective Unconscious. Yeah, it's a 40-minute video. I'm looking at a brief summarization of it because, we don't have the time. But this is just like to give you an idea of that there's other theories, right? So we've got the wired God theory, which is the most direct sci-fi explanation. The wired becomes...
Wait a minute.
Yeah?
Speaking of time, since you mentioned it...
200 hours later...
So the wired becomes a physical dimension, and humanity's collective unconscious is merged into one conscious network. Yeah. So this is the lane becomes the god of the unconscious, god of the wired theory, right?
I would describe that as the surface level of what the show shows you.
Yeah. So that's basic, right?
Which I'm not saying that as I think that's weak or easy. I'm just saying that's
it's just one version.
Literally what you're shown. If you want
then there's a psychological study of mental illness and isolation. Many viewers interpret the bizarre events as allegories for extreme social anxiety, dissociation, or schizophrenia, which is the whole, Lane begins the series as an exceptionally quiet, isolated girl who struggles to connect with her classmates. Her digital powers, the mysterious men in black, and her fragmented realities can be seen as manifestations of a declining mental state. The people in her life may simply be figments of her imagination as she retreats inward. Right. So that's the way that was the way I saw it. Now, let's see. Are there other theories? Growing consensus in both fans and academic circles frames Lane as a neurodivergent or autistic-coded protagonist. The constant buzzing of power lines, humming machines, and sensory overload in the show reflects how a neurodivergent individual might experience an overwhelming world. Her struggle to naturally engage in typical okay, so that's a theory about her having autism, but that isn't actually a psychological theory for the show. But I mean, so there, at least there, you've got the two mindsets. But I haven't found other theories. I'm going to see if there's other alternate theories for the show.
So what I would say is I am perfectly myself.
Yeah.
I am perfectly fine accepting that what we are shown is what happened. It's a science fiction tale about the merging of two worlds and the person who does the merging realizing she cannot exist except as an observer.
Oh, I like this line, though.
Yeah.
Christian, this is an unfortunate last name. Christian Nutt from New Type USA felt that the main attraction of the series is its keen view on the, quote, interlocking problems of identity and technology. Which I totally agree. That's a huge theme in the show.
That's my other kind of favorite interpretation, is that it's somebody who is... The word neurodivergent is great because you can apply it however you want. So a neurodivergent individual who falls into this thing that's, again, this is 98. So this is when the internet was the Wild West. It had not become what it is now.
Yeah.
Somebody who's in this really kind of completely open space where you could forge whatever identity you wanted, and you could probably find other people who were dazzled by this new thing and hadn't gotten cynical and evil yet. And so, but there were always going to be people who would mess with you, and so those people existed. And so this is just her reality, even though it is not reality. The reality is that she's sitting at a computer. This whole thing is her sitting at a computer, imagining, in the way that young children do with toys and imaginary friends at different stages of life, that all this is real. And it is to her. Is it to anybody else? It's up to you. That's all. But the way I choose to interpret it is that I take it for literally what it gives you. And I'm fine with that.
Hey, you know what? They did a better job of psychologically telling a story than the Mila movie did.
Boy, did they.
Yeah. And that's what I like. Lane is written really well because it is meant to be a philosophical exercise to some degree. It never intends to tell you everything, even from the beginning. The way it's animated, the shots they choose, this is never a show that's going to spill the beans completely. And it never promises that. It is always shady from the start. And it delivers on its weirdness, but it also foreshadows it. So
yeah.
I think this series, despite its open-ended kind of ending to some degree, it is written exceptionally well. There's an exceptional attention to detail, to sound design. I mean, we watched the dub version, which is kind of weird because normally the dub version is weak, but Joe had read that it's actually they did a really good job of it, and I think they did. I think they did a great job. Like I always remember the buzzing of the power lines. That was the thing that I remember from this, that she could hear the power lines.
Well, and I remember somebody pointing out that, hey, the dubbing really doesn't matter if it's good or bad because much of this is the score and not any type of dialogue.
The soundtrack is so, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you like weird, if you like cyberpunk, you like weird sci-fi, you like a weird mystery, you're willing to accept some undiscovered territory, come on, give it a shot. It's only 20 minutes an episode. Rad
interpretations of handheld computing.
Oh, God, the technology looks amazing in this.
The technology is great. Especially the kid who's got a pistol grip as his trio, basically.
Oh, yeah, I know. And what was... Do you remember what the first thing I said when that thing popped up? Where I was like, oh, that's not going to get you shot.
oh, yeah. Yes, that's... Yes. Yeah.
This is my pistol grip iPhone. Yeah. Could you imagine your iPhone
and my comment
shaped like
about
a gun?
A computer that eats that much power in this economy? Come on.
Man. It's also, and it's cool because it is this kind of retro future, because it's got this own vision of like, they were stuck in it was in the 90s, right, when they made this, like late 90s.
Yeah, 98. Yeah.
Yeah, so like they had this 1990s sort of point of view of the technology and where it was going. So what they deliver to you then is this very 90s retro vision of the future that's all chunky.
This feels heavily inspired by Neuromancer and Snow Crash.
Oh, the wires, all the wires and the connections.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's there's a part where the sky is, not the color of television, but it's like the internet, and it's you could see it.
Yeah. The shadows, all the shadows look like there's something going on in them.
Yeah.
Like they're poorly rendered or something like that. So,
yep.
No, it's great.
Yep.
Oddly, this kind of reminds me of, what is that? Was it the movie we watched? The rainbow,
Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Beyond the Black Rainbow. I feel like Beyond the Black Rainbow is heavily affected by this show.
Oh, sure. I can see that.
Except Lane actually goes quite somewhere. Like, it goes a whole distance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas I feel like watching this and thinking of Beyond the Black Rainbow, I feel like Beyond the Black Rainbow is like the beginning of a series.
Yeah. Could have been.
So.
Could have been.
And, so that's Lane. Last thoughts?
Yeah. Nothing we haven't covered. I think it's a great series, but you're going to have to bring something to it. It's not going to give you all the answers if that's what you're looking. If you just want something that's an experience, it's definitely that. If you want a clear-cut story that starts, tells you everything you need to know, and resolves with all your questions answered, don't bother. Nope. But it is quite unlike almost anything else. As an anime series, it manages to ask a lot and deliver a lot.
And massively still holds up. Like, I don't watch it thinking, "Ooh, this is so dated." I look at it like an alternate now.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that would really give it away, and I wouldn't even necessarily make this as a strong argument, is, the technology is of the time. But it's not, because it essentially has Wi-Fi before there's Wi-Fi. The devices look weird, but they're so weird they're not even rooted in a time. Nobody says, dial-up. Nobody says 3G or, Verizon, anytime
it's
minutes
an alternate
or anything like that.
Route. It's an alternate route to the future.
Yeah. You never see a CD or a disc or anything like. You see little weird devices, but they look like implants. You know what I mean?
Well, people start taking internet drugs.
Yeah. And like these guys are there's a gargoyle walking around and nobody looks twice at him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's got this timeless quality, but it's really interesting. As long as you're okay with not having everything answered. That's all. Otherwise, I think it's great.
And the thing is, like, we can't even get into it because there are so many weird details in this. So, like, we can just talk about it in a larger sense, right? But there's so much going on in this show. Just all the time. There's shit going on.
Oh, yeah.
So
there's one episode that's talking about all these actual inventors.
Oh, yeah. What was it? The radiation. What was the radiation thing about that's in the environment?
Oh, yeah. That there's like a harmonic resonance that exists across the earth. And, there's wild stuff in there. And like the Majestic 12 thing, which is a real thing. There's all this stuff. So that's what makes it. It's based on some stuff that's real and a lot of really weird stuff. I don't know if I should have looked this up.
What's that?
Is it easily watchable? Jeez, can you watch it anywhere?
You get it.
Is it on Crunchyroll? It probably is, because that's an anime series.
Crunchyroll.
Looks like does not show on Crunchyroll. Here we go. Here's the thing. It tells you where you can watch
Crunchyroll.
It is on Apple TV.
Apple TV.
So,
I could totally see
that. Apparently is the only place, unless you want to buy it outright.
Apple TV.
That So I would say, it's $3 an episode. So that's about $40.
I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset if
I wouldn't be upset.
No,
not for 4 hours for 40. It's $10 an hour. Yeah, I think it's.
No, I wouldn't be upset. It's a good show. It holds up. It's all there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It'll make you want animal print pajamas, or animal shaped pajamas. That was, when this show came out, I remember that was one of the things that hit hardest. Is the vision of her in those like animal pajamas?
Oh yeah, that was I do know that was a huge point of contention among the people making it. There were a lot of people who thought that was in the production process, thought that was really stupid. And then there were a lot of people who said, oh, it's great. And they put it in and it became one of the most memorable things. So I think they made the right decision.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this was far weirder than everything else we watched.
I was going to say,
which was a different kind of weird.
We go from heavy and philosophical and inexplicable to the other end as we finish out, of course, Kaijun.
Just give me the essence of the thing, the juice, you know.
Thanks for killing my mom.
No problem.
See, white girls bore me.
You can eat shit and die, Colonel.
I do want you to come.
Come on, show me your dick.
Show me your dick. Here we go.
I felt like the best way to end this particular month's theme was to watch movies that were packed full of monsters. Now, we didn't watch them exactly in the order that I planned to, which is a shame because I think we watched the better... Well, I mean, maybe you'll disagree. I feel like we watched the better of the two first. So, I don't know which one you felt was the stronger movie.
I don't think it made a difference to me.
Okay.
I think I enjoyed them both for different reasons, and I think that it made no difference because I didn't connect them necessarily.
All right, so then let's start off with the we'll go in the order that we watched them is what I would say. So the first one we watched, okay, this is a extraordinarily long title. It's Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah All Monster Attack. That's the full title of this thing.
Yeah.
From, what was the year on that? 90, Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah. Giant Monsters All Out Attack. I missed the word. So
I'll be honest with you. We could have just watched Godzilla movies all month, and I probably would have been fine with it. Because these movies, they're just so delightful. They're just so much fun. Like, they get serious, and then they aren't serious, and like, the miniatures are done. I mean, this goes for both of them. The miniatures are done so well. I mean, and the Japanese way of doing this is interesting to me because ideally, and I think that's why when they started doing Godzilla again, the Bryan Cranston Godzilla, I think they used the kind of Japanese format a little bit, which was they don't give you Godzilla right away. Like, they maybe they give it a little bit, but otherwise they wait and they kind of build up a story so that when shit finally goes off, it's like, oh, okay, here we go. And every movie kind of reinterprets the feeling. Whereas in the American movies, by the time you get to with a King of All Monsters, where it's just like all monster fighting all the time, like you almost get there's just so much fighting in that movie that by the end it's like the city's been turned into atomic ash, and like they just go so far around the bend, which I enjoy, just not every time. But the American movies now have kind of shifted to all monsters all the time, right? Whereas the Japanese movies, especially with the Godzilla -1, are still of this mindset. No. We're going to give you plot and people and interesting situations, and then the monsters are the result. And then this is the one. Yeah. So this movie was interesting to me because the monsters. I mean, there's hints of them, but they don't really get rolling till about like halfway through the movie. I mean, are we like an hour in before the monsters show up? Really?
I think in force. Yeah, I think they pop up here and there, but not.
They start moving. I mean, that's the thing is they start moving.
Well, I missed this in the movie apparently.
Yeah.
Because I was curious about something. And also there's a fact about this movie, so to set it up, this movie is meant to be a direct sequel to the original 1954 Godzilla, the first Godzilla film. This is skipping everything else.
Yeah, he's supposed to have not shown up since the, which I kind of like the idea of, because when Godzilla does show up in this, Godzilla is very much the bad guy in this.
Well, not only is he the bad guy,
yeah.
I didn't realize this, but I looked at, because this is the only movie I'm aware of where his eyes are white.
Yeah.
Which is great. And I went and searched afterwards why his eyes are white. And I sort of remember them mentioning that he was the embodiment of all the angry souls that died in the war or something. I remember
that was their interpretation. I like to assume that was just...
Apparently, that's literally it. He is a zombie. This is him as an undead version of the creature that got killed in the original movie. That is stated as what he is. Not only that, which does explain why it's the only one where he's got white eyes. And he does look sort of dead. He does look...
I thought
different.
Yeah, except that his what do you call it? His reflexes are so good though in this.
Right, but we thought he just looked old. It's apparently because he's supposed to be decaying.
My interpretation of him in this is an older, senile Godzilla who's just like lost, who basically is just stopped giving a shit. That's the way I interpret it. But I mean the zombie thing, that's an interesting.
Yeah, because I just thought it was supposed to be, because in the original
I don't know how to handle that. It's so fascinating.
It's weird.
I mean, but you know what? Listen, the Japanese Godzilla movies, they lean into the weird, like they lean hard into the weird, and bless them for it, because it makes some fucking fun movies. But yeah. They go right into it. He's a zombie. That's fine. He's a fucking zombie.
Right. And the only argument I saw that said no, because I was looking on Reddit too, because I was curious what people thought, and I do find this hilarious because it is a equally delightfully ridiculous explanation. And somebody said he's not a zombie. He's just a supernatural reincarnation of the spirits that have died in the war. And I went, all right, man. I mean, yes, technically those are two different things, but they really aren't. So, as you said, the best part about these movies is
you can watch it any way you want. I like it as like a much older Godzilla who's just fucking had it.
Yes, it's fine.
I like it that way. But you know what? It works as a zombie. It works either way.
It does. It works perfectly fine.
The zombie thing works because Godzilla is usually like large and in charge. And in this version, even Ghidorah seeks to destroy him along with the others. Like Mothra seeks to destroy him. And it would make sense because if this was an undead Godzilla that for whatever reason was being utilized still, it would make sense why Mothra would turn on it. Because it's no longer really Godzilla. It's undead Godzilla.
Oh, yeah.
It's reanimated.
Also,
it's reanimated Godzilla.
There's an aside early in the film where when they're when they're talking about being ready for Godzilla to come back. This is at the very beginning, pretty much. I do remember the guy saying, "We've had reports of monster sightings in New York City." And I just thought that was a way of saying, okay, monsters appear all over. But from what I understand...
Oh, are they? Is that the Matthew Broderick one? Are they
yes,
directly...
they're referencing the Matthew... It's in continuity of that movie.
That's funny.
Because at the time, Toho was still... That was the only American Godzilla movie that was officially sanctioned by Toho. So they're talking about Zilla, who does die in a later Godzilla film. An official one, he gets destroyed. So you will see him show up and get killed in another movie. In any event... This movie came out in 2001, so Godzilla -1 hadn't come out yet, but it also feels very connected to that in the whole thing about the war dead, and the way it ends feels very much like Godzilla -1, which didn't exist yet. So this is an interesting movie because it feels very different in specific ways than all the other ones, and yet it's still just a Godzilla movie, meaning it's a lot of fun. But it's weird because King Ghidorah is a good guy, which is very unlike almost all of his appearances that I'm aware of, where he is a purely good character fighting Godzilla. Normally, he is an alien enemy, as he will be in the next movie we'll review, the kind of classic version, even though he's sort of inserted into that other movie as opposed to where he's normally a big deal. But he is superpowered, and he is ultimately the what's the word for it? The big final thing they try at him. But Godzilla looks awesome. I like the white eyes. I like how he does look either old or zombified or supernatural or whatever. And he does look very scary at times. Like the white eyes are very effective.
You know what? I'm telling you, they do this thing in this movie where like he is a mean-spirited force in this. So like, you know, he passes by the building and the woman thinks she's okay, and then the tail takes out the whole building. They try to catch him from behind, and he like catches people. Like he turns around suddenly, like there is a. I mean, he is more threatening a force in this than he has been in other movies.
Yes, that's where this does feel much more connected to the original, where he is a pure evil monster, a source, an engine of destruction. In this, he feels the same way, where like he is a vengeful thing. And so, whereas in the next movie, Destroy All Monsters, there's a part where he's wailing on Ghidorah again, but it's hilarious because he's just like wailing on him. And it looks like a UFC fight, and it's funny. Jesus, but in this,
we'll get into that in a minute.
In this, like you said, he does come across as a real threat. Like he is something that is vengefully angry and menacing.
And the storyline
very well
with the humans, which is essentially that the reporter who thinks that something is happening and uncovers this kind of weird plot where they're not plot, but basically this idea that there are monsters that naturally will rise to defend Japan. It's interesting. It's fun. It's it didn't annoy me. We had a lot of fun with it. It's kind of silly and kooky at times. The woman who's the lead, she wasn't annoying. She was kind of good. It's good that she's a reporter because it puts her in the right places at the right times. It's convenient that her father is also, involved in all this stuff. But yeah, I didn't find the human characters to be obnoxious. It is convenient that they are who they are, where they are, when they are. But I mean, that's these movies, right? And very much what they did with the American reboot of Godzilla, because they had that one soldier character who was always in the wrong fucking place at the wrong time, right? I mean, that was the whole theme of that movie, is the most unlucky Marine. But I don't find them annoying, and I like the buildup of the mystery, which is that no one wants to believe that Godzilla is coming back because he's been gone for so long. And then no one especially wants to believe that there's other monsters. So the beginning of it feels like, like a Roland Emmerich movie where like, they're like, hey, this thing might happen. And I was like, no, it can't happen. And then all the birds fall from the sky. They're like, well, that could have just been it was just a weird weather effect. It's not the end of the world. And then like more things happen. That's the kind of movie this is. We're like, oh, Godzilla's not coming back. Surely not. And then it's like, oh shit, he is. My God. And there's other monsters as well. Oh my God. And then everything gets rolling. And the fight sequences are fun. But Godzilla is never in danger in this movie. He kicks everybody's ass. And that's actually one of the things I think is fascinating with this movie, is that despite being the bad guy, he fucking beats everybody. And it is only by luck alone that they defeat him, which is essentially that they've been using these like screw missiles where like essentially the missile hits you and then it's got a screw head in on it and it like drills into you before it explodes. And the Godzilla has kicked the shit out of fucking everybody, right? He's gone through 3 monsters. He handed Ghidorah his ass, and then he swallows a military submarine that's got one of these screw missiles on. And the guy, if you really think about it, Godzilla swallowing a submarine is kind of like equivalent to you swallowing an Advil, right? It's really not a big deal. It becomes a big deal when that Advil shoots a screw missile out of your digestive tract, right? Because my theory about what finally kills him in the end is that I think the only part of Godzilla that's atomic breath proof is like his throat canal, basically connected to whatever organ produces it, and like his mouth. And not even like around his mouth. Because they do that thing where like sometimes his face is like smoking?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think his mouth and his teeth and stuff, like his lips are atomic breath proof, but that even parts of his face are not. I think he could blow off his own leg if he wanted to. So when this guy fires this missile out the side of his digestive tract and he goes to use his atomic breath, rather than go out his mouth, it like shoots off this side thing and he essentially blows a hole in himself. Like, that makes sense to me, because if you put a hole in the pipe and atomic breath is on its way, atomic breath is going to go where it goes. And if that part of you is not prepared, like it isn't atomic breath proof, then yeah, you just basically, you've done to yourself what normally you do to other monsters. You've blown a hole in yourself. So that was the way I don't know if that's how you see the ending, but that's how I kind of interpret it. Because it comes quick.
Yeah, essentially, that's what the movie shows us, is that whether it's that other parts of him are breath-proof or not, certainly the wound he sustains, it causes him to disintegrate. And again, this is another Godzilla -1 thing, because that's what happens at the end of Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
So it feels very related to that movie. But yeah, essentially, like you said, he swallows him. So the woman who's the reporter, it does have that feeling, as you said, of they also kind of did it in the first 2014 Godzilla, where Bryan Cranston's saying this is not just an earthquake, and, blah, 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 and nobody believes him. And then there's the podcaster who's tracking. Like, they've done this a bunch of times.
The podcaster comes in later, though. But yeah, it's that.
Oh yeah, no, he does. Yeah. But what I'm saying is they've done this. This version of it has been done. But it works. So this woman's working for essentially a Ghost Hunters TMZ type of company that makes up stuff. And so you sort of, her colleagues are like, oh yeah, sure, it's a monster, whatever. And then Mothra has always been a guardian, so that fits perfectly. Baragon, I don't know Baragon's
Is Baragon
background.
the little monster doggy?
The little dog one, yeah. The
God,
dog
he doesn't
dog,
stand a fucking chance. When he shows up,
No, he gets killed. He gets killed
man,
brutally.
Godzilla's gonna fucking make you his fucking boyfriend. or his girlfriend. Like, he just kicks.
But as you said, Godzilla is virtually invulnerable. He kills Baragon. He kills Mothra. He kills Ghidorah. He kills them all eventually. Yeah. The only reason that he's even in any trouble is because the spirits of them pull him underwater long enough for the guy to fly into his mouth.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh no, he doesn't.
That is it.
I don't. No. I don't. Does he? Does he fly or does he get swallowed? I can't remember.
No. Well, he goes towards him because, and remember the Dar's like, "No, Dad, don't." And he's like, "It's the only way," because I think he realizes
he
that
does go in,
Yeah. So I think he's guided by the spirits or whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's the classic way to kill a dragon. They're not fireproof on the inside.
Right.
And
then he blows up. At the very end, you see his heart beating, which is exactly what Godzilla -1 shows us.
Yeah.
So it is the way to kind of wrap this up and still have him be able to come back. So
I wouldn't have had the dad survive personally. I thought that was
they don't do those kind of dark endings with these very often.
I know.
It's the monsters who get killed, not the people.
Got it.
So that's why Mothra's death that's supposed to be the emotional punch because everybody loves Mothra.
No,
it's like Gamera getting killed. Everybody likes Gamera because he's the protector of children. Everybody likes Mothra because she's the protector of the earth. So when they die, it's typically a big dramatic thing. And they die a lot. Well, not Gamera, as far as I know, never dies. Mothra dies all the time. She's been dead and come back. I don't even know how many times. Let's see. I'm curious. How many times has Mothra died? Let's take a look. Every time Mothra has died. Here we go. Mothra versus Godzilla, 1964, 1. Rebirth of Mothra, 1996, 2. The one we watched, 3. Godzilla Tokyo SOS, oh yeah, that's right, 4. Godzilla Final Wars, which I also watched, 5. Godzilla King of the Monsters, 6. So she's died 6 times. 5 of them in the classic continuity.
Yeah.
I mean, she always finds a way to come back. So she's the Wolverine of Godzilla movies. She ain't ever staying dead for long. You know?
There you go. So I enjoyed it. That was fun.
That's a blast. It's great to see a truly terrifying Godzilla in a modern film.
To be clear, I haven't watched one of these like classic Godzilla movies and not enjoyed it. I still think Space Godzilla might be my favorite of the bunch.
That's pretty good.
But I mean, these movies are all a lot of fun. I mean, if you want to, do you want to shift gears to the next one? Because
sure, yeah.
So
after this, we watched Destroy All Monsters, which might be the most packed monster movie in the whole Godzilla series.
It is, and it isn't. It is in that all the monsters are there. But they're
count. Yeah, that's what I meant.
But they're I mean, you get little bits of them throughout the movie, but you really don't get full-time action until the last 20 minutes. To be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
The rest of this movie is about metal aliens that look like women mind controlling people and trying to take over the Earth and using the monsters to basically threaten the human race to do it. But beyond that, it looks like, I mean, if someone said to me that Wes Anderson wanted to do a Godzilla movie, it would look like this. I wouldn't be surprised if this movie inspired Wes Anderson because the color coordination in this and like the design, there's just this wonderful like kind of 60s kookiness to it. I love the design of it. It's kind of a mixture of like the 60s and then what is it? I always forget the name of that British show. Thunderbirds. It's like Thunderbirds, especially because they got all the miniatures. I was not prepared for kind of how the Japanese handle aliens. Where they're like, yeah, it is kind of creepy, but like at the same time, it's totally absurd. But I enjoyed the adventure with the people. Again, this goes back to the story that was going on outside of the monsters was entertaining. This idea that these aliens want to take over Earth, and the humans are trying to figure out how to essentially fight them back, and also find out where they are, and also make sure that their people don't get mind controlled. There is an absolutely stunning sequence in this movie that I will never forget, which is that the main character's girlfriend has been mind controlled from like the beginning, and he's I'd nearly been killed by her. I think twice at this point in the movie, right? And she shows up in kind of the the UN G-force building, and she's gotten it. She's snuck in because they were monitoring for people who had these implants, and so she gets in because the aliens have put new style implants on her, which is essentially she has these earrings that are like basically running wires up into her brain. And she gets there, and her boyfriend is like, "Oh my God!" He's like, "What are you doing here?" And then he realizes she's still mind controlled, even though there's no scar, because he's looking for it. And she's like, "Citizens of Earth, I'm here to talk to the press. I'm not here to talk to you. I'm here to tell the human race the same offer that we gave you, and you wouldn't listen. You know, we're going to give you a future of technology." And before she can get any further, he grabs her, and he's like, "You're not going to talk here, woman!" And he like rips her earrings off, and then realizes that that's the thing, and then he rips them both off. And I said to Joe when we were watching this, "Are you telling me that this guy just stopped the aliens from getting any further in their plan because his own misogyny would not let this woman speak?" I was like, is the mistake these aliens made thinking that they would let a woman get through a speech to the fucking press before just grabbing her and hauling her off? Because that's what happens. And the way it happens is just so like, he just grabs her violently and he's like, "You can't talk here, woman." And they're like, "Oh no, she's mind controlled." And then you just ignore that. But you're like, there is a fascinating level of kind of 60s misogyny in this movie. But that said, when you get to the 20-minute mark and all the monsters, I mean fucking all of them show up, and they break the mind control, and then the U.S. the governments of the world get control of the monsters and basically direct them at the aliens. It gets really funny because there is a moment where the aliens basically summon Ghidorah to fight for them, and Ghidorah shows up and is like, "Yeah, motherfucker," he's like, "I gotta kick all your asses," and he's like, he comes in all tough. At which point he starts to get beat up a little bit, and he's like, "Oh shit, I might not win this." So he goes to take off, and I don't remember who it is, but one of the monsters jumps up, grabs him by the legs, and just yanks him straight down to the ground. And at that moment I thought, man, Ghidorah is about to get the shit kicked out of him. And then he does. They beat the ever-loving shit out of Ghidorah. He's getting his ass kicked by like 4 or 5 different monsters at once. Even Godzuki runs in and gets a celebratory kick in and blows like a smoke ring or some shit.
And then one of them drop kicks him from the back.
Oh, like, yeah. I mean, like,
which is great.
It just turns into this hilarious, like, wrestling routine where Ghidorah's like, "I gotta get out of here." And they're like, "Bitch, you ain't going nowhere."
"We got you for 3 minutes of pain."
Yeah, and then the aliens destroy the mind control, thinking, "Oh well, we'll free the monsters from control, and then the humans can't use them against us." At which point Godzilla's like, No. You motherfuckers have ruined my week," and he goes right after them and vaporizes them.
Yeah,
because they've set up like an underground base under Mount Fuji?
Yeah, I believe it is in Mount Fuji. Yeah. Yes.
And so when I first watched it, we were getting to the end of the movie, and I was like, man, 20 minutes, and the monsters haven't gone haywire yet. But the last 20 minutes of the movie is absolute monster mayhem, which is great.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the movie is just so sci-fi. So I enjoyed it a lot. I think it's more of a fun movie than the Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah movie.
Oh yeah, no, it's a completely different tone. It's very, very goofy Godzilla. Okay, the other one, the All Out Attack. You don't play the Blue Oyster Cult song for that one. That one is the original song, and it's very somber and meaningful, right? Because it's about, war crimes and war dead and all this shit. This one, you could play the Blue Oyster Cult over the whole movie and it works. Because it's just goofy. But goofy, I mean, just the alien women that are essentially just wearing sparkle robes. And yeah, like the part where he rips the earrings off her and she's bleeding. And he's
like, "You're not going to talk here, woman."
Yeah, like it's not like he says, "I'm sorry, I have to do this, but it's the only way." He's just like, "Fuck it." And he just tears him off. And she's like, "Ah!" He's like, "I told you, shut up." and is just ripping the earrings off. And you're just like, holy shit, man. She's done with you. No, she's not. They're back together again. No problem.
They're fine. She can't remember shit after that.
Yeah. But yeah, when they're whomping on Ghidorah, it's like pro wrestling, where you're just sitting there going, Jesus Christ, they're having such a blast beating the fuck out of an alien magic dragon. What is not to like about this?
And he comes in so confident. I think that's the other aspect of this too, which is that Ghidorah shows up and he's like, even the swagger, he's just like, yeah, I'm going to fuck you guys up. Like, you have to understand that when I watch these movies, Joe and I can't help but give these monsters dialogue. So it's very funny for us because, you know, we say it any we want, and Ghidorah always comes off just like a big kind of broy asshole. So when they literally just start romper stomping him, you're like, oh yeah, fuck this guy up, you know?
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like, always...
Well, we've got our own monster, and you're like, your monster ain't shit. We got like 6 of them. You're good.
No, I mean, Rodan, I always give kind of this goofy, dummy voice, like, I can fly, guys! Look, I can fly, guys! Because Rodan's fucking useless. And Manila sucks shit, and I hate him because he looks like a melted-faced Muppet.
Okay, who's the guy that's on all 4? That guy's just creepy.
There's Baragon and Agyrus, I think is who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, there's clearly a guy on all 4 in like a monster bodysuit. And like there's just something really creepy about him moving around like that.
How are you supposed to pronounce that?
Like, you know, when he jumps on Ghidorah.
Anguirus. Anguirus is who you're talking about. The guy that's a guy on all 4s.
Yeah, and when he jumps on Ghidorah, it's like he's going to sexually assault Ghidorah. Like, it's just weird.
Yeah.
That said,
yes,
it's a fun as fuck movie.
Oh, it is. That's what I'm saying is the other one is more serious, where Godzilla is scary and he is, you know, what he is supposed to be is actually serious. Like, if you actually examine what he is the war dead of the Pacific, pissed off because Japan has denied its role in some of the terrible things during the war. And so he's, like the 54 one was supposed to be the, you know, the atomic bomb and what its psychic impact. This is the war, you know, the pain of war resurrected. It's a serious movie, even though, you know, it's not really. But it is. It's trying to be as much as it can be. Whereas this is, hey, everybody, do you like people in rubber suits? Do you want to see them do pro wrestling shit against each other? All that's, I shit you not. The only thing that's missing from this movie that would really put it over the top, truly, is if they all had, oh my God, what are the Mexican wrestlers? What's the name of those?
Oh, masks. They had like mystery masks on their heads.
Luchador. If they were Lucha Kaiju, it would be the best.
Lucha Kaiju.
Right, Kaijudors, whatever.
Hold on 1 second.
Were you looking to see if somebody did it?
Now I must see if somebody has thought to do that, because that's a good idea.
I'm sure somebody has to have done that. Let's see. Wow. No? Really?
Well, I've got a picture of somebody who put a Godzilla toy in one of the Masked Rider masks.
Okay, well, I guess that's...
But no one has done art of Godzilla with a luchador mask.
I can't believe that.
Although that is a really cool luchador Godzilla mask.
Yeah, I think I found it. It looks very good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But no, nobody's done that.
Yeah,
shocked. Everybody, I see white space.
Yeah, jeez. I can't believe nobody... But that's the only thing this movie was missing, was them wearing masks.
And capes.
You know,
capes would be good too.
And honestly, they could easily have worked it in by saying, well, we have figured out that the monsters are being controlled by aliens, and the only thing we can figure out is that we have to be able to block the signals from getting to their brains.
We have to put masks on them.
We have to put masks on them, and we need them to be identifiable so we know which monsters are which, even though you'd be able to tell. But like Baragon and Anguirus kind of look similar. So they put these colorful masks on them, and then they set them on Ghidorah. And it would be great. And it would not at all be more ridiculous than what the movie is.
The color style of this movie would totally support it, because it is like a
absolutely
movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a blast. This movie was meant kind of like Not like the other one was meant to be a direct sequel. This one was the last film. What was the era that this was? This Showa, I think. Was this meant to be the end of the Showa era? I think, because I don't remember all the eras of these things. Production.
Did Godzilla fight Jet Jaguar?
I know he did in the cartoon, which is called Zero.
Godzilla
0.
Fest 4 Operation Jet Jaguar. Is this a movie that we missed? Is
that a live action?
Yeah.
Godzilla Singular Point, I think, is the one where it's the cartoon that he has Jet Jaguar. That's what I was telling you should watch with your son, because I think he would like it. Okay. So this movie, Toho were potentially going to end the Godzilla series because they'd run out of ideas. Clearly not. And that's what this was meant to kind of be. Okay, we're going to throw everything at it and have all the monsters. And then I think... Did it get received so well they kept going? Is that what happened? Let's see.
It's a movie. It got 7.9.
Oh, interesting. No, I didn't know that.
It's a short. Oh, we got to watch this.
Ah, that's why.
Yeah, it got a 7.9.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. We got to watch this.
How long is it?
11 minutes.
Oh, what's it called?
Godzilla 4 Operation Jet Jaguar.
When was this made?
2023.
Oh, wow. That's pretty recent. I think that's after
Oh, my God. Yeah, look at that suit. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, look at him. God. That's great. Oh, here it is. Wait, no, that's not it.
You have to find it. Well, this is on YouTube.
This is somebody commenting. I don't want to watch your version of it. I need to watch
it. Show me what I want.
Show me the movie. Oh, here it is. Oh, that's not it either. Okay, well, whatever. We'll find it. I got to find an actual version of it, not people talking about it.
Did you see the stills of the Jet Jaguar?
Oh, yeah. No, the suit looks great. Yeah, it looks very good.
Oh, yeah. God, yeah.
Jet Jaguar. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But yes, I would
this new
recommend
Godzilla movie is heartbreaking. Oh, my God.
It's heartbreaking?
It's 11 minutes. How can it be heartbreaking? Oh, my God. I have to see this now. I need to know what you did.
Wait. Are they team... Oh, it looked like they were doing the Dylan Dutch thing, but it's just the way they're positioned in the one still.
Yeah, we gotta find
Are they teaming up?
It looks like it, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Listen, Godzilla's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, that's kind of what we're saying here is the nice part is there's all different types of Godzilla stuff. There's serious stuff. There's not serious stuff. There's a lot of fun movies. There's a lot of really great miniature work. There's a lot to like about these movies, but the only thing I'll say is outside of the original one and -1 probably, maybe the 2014 one, except I don't think it does it right. They're not very serious movies.
No, they're fun.
Often. Yes, they're a lot of fun. And, don't get me wrong, the one where Godzilla is zombie/spirit/old, he is menacing, but it's never that serious of a tone. So it can handle serious topics here and there. There is drama to be found, but if you want a really serious version, you either have to watch the original black and white one or -1. Those are the two that I really feel like try to do the character seriously. All the other ones, even when they're trying to be serious, and I say this with a love for it, it's delightful to me, but it is somewhat tough in many of these films to take the dramatic moments. Like Shin Godzilla, I just don't like that movie. I know somebody's going to say, well, Shin Godzilla, I don't like Shin Godzilla. I just don't, it's not for me. A wet, throbby, semi-dildo looking worm Godzilla slathering along the ground with bug eyes is not what I'm looking for. It's just not. If that's what you want, go watch Shin Godzilla, because a lot of people like it. I did not enjoy that movie. So I guess that's a serious one too. But for movies that I think are good, the problem with a lot of them when they try to do the dramatic stuff is you can't give me a heart-wrenched family story about whatever and then cut to what is an obvious miniature flying on a string with a little Roman candle firing out of its back end and have me stay engaged with the dramatic stakes of the moment. I'm not complaining about this. I'm just saying I can't take it that seriously because that's adorable. You've got a model on a string. I love it, but don't ask me to be upset about something right after that.
The miniatures are so great.
They are unbelievable. And even in, I think in the Old Man Ghost Zombies Godzilla one, some of the buildings, when they're being destroyed, that are miniatures, they make them look real when they're collapsing. Because with some of the miniatures in the earlier films, when they're broken, you can see their cardboard inside. Like, you ignore it, but you know it's there. They're really beautiful from the outside, but as soon as they get wrecked, you know that they're miniatures. Because there's like a lot of dust and foam and balsa wood. And you know what it looks like. But not in that one. That one looks really good in a lot of it.
Oh,
the digital compositing, not so much.
Godzilla and Jet Jaguar team up against Ghidorah.
In what? That short?
Yeah, in that short, yeah.
Oh, maybe they do. Maybe they do the bro fist thing.
At one point, so I guess they start out fighting, and then the two of them fight Ghidorah. And at one point, Godzilla supercharges Jet Jaguar's blade as he like stabs it into Ghidorah. Yeah. I don't know where the fuck this is, but we need to see it.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is Ghidorah is almost always the bad guy. Yeah. So,
but no, I mean they're not serious, but they are so much fun. The American movies have realized that they started out serious, but then they were like, yeah, but people like the fun. And you know, the Japanese movies still try to balance it, and I like that. I like that they're both out there now. I like that we still have the Japanese Godzilla movies that can be half kooky, half very serious, and then we've got the American ones where it's like, you know, New Empire, where they're, you know, just having all-out monster fights.
Yep.
Let it all be there, you know?
Yeah.
But we need to watch this fucking short. This is...
Yeah, if we can find the son of a bitch.
This guy's got... I'm watching a video here it's like 10 minutes of clips. I'm like, 10 minutes of clips? That's practically the whole thing.
Right.
Jet Jaguar has like hook hands. I didn't know he had hook hands.
Well, I think he can have different things. See, there is a Godzilla YouTube channel. Yeah. The problem is I can't read Japanese. So I'm trying to find something that's 11 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, I could...
Because there are some things on here.
I'm going to send you this thing that's in... It shows you footage. It's got a lot of footage of it, but it's not the actual video. But if you kind of skip through... I just have it on mute in the background. There's tons of footage from the short. And you'll see, and then you'll be like, oh god, we do have to see this.
No, I've been seeing footage of it, but I want to watch the actual thing. And so far, I can't.
Yeah, I can't find it. Yeah,
find it. There are other Fest videos on here, so my hunch is it's somewhere in here. If I could just read Japanese, I mean, maybe. Whatever, we'll find it. I mean, I'm sure it's very good. One of us will locate it, I'm sure. And
I mean, this has a lot of the footage in it. It's just out of, you know, it's not all in one piece. You're
it's not. Oh, here's another one.
But it gives you enough of an idea of what it is, which is pretty damn cool.
Oh, sure. I'm pretty sure it. Wow, there's a lot of Space Godzilla on this thing. I have a hunch that video is on here, but there's so much Godzilla stuff now that the video, it's just so loaded with videos on like the toys, and there's shorts, and there's interviews. Like, they've released so many toys. Biollante. Yeah. Or Biollante. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that. There's Gargan.
I could have watched Godzilla a month.
Well, you know, I'm glad we tried other things. But yes, Godzilla was the most consistently great.
I mean, watching, it was still fun to see Pacific Rim again as well.
Sure.
But, These classic Godzilla movies are just so much fun.
It's very hard to beat whatever they locked in with on Godzilla. They got the formula right because they are just delightful movies, and there's so much difference in a lot of these different types of him and versions of him, and they all work. I mean, I'm not going to say there are no bad Godzilla movies, but I can't think of one off the top of my head.
No, so. But even when they're bad, the bad is charming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the miniature work. Listen, if you've got a problem with miniatures, then you shouldn't watch these. How about that? That's all I could say.
Here again, this is a nice thing about Godzilla. Assuming you like giant monster movies, if you don't, forget it. Like I'm not gonna talk.
Motherfucker, I found it.
Right? Where are you? YouTube? Somewhere else?
Yeah, it's on Reddit.
Oh, it's on. Oh, of course.
Godzilla Fest 5 short film. Godzilla and Jet Jaguar vs. King Ghidorah.
All right, let's see. Oh yeah, here it is. The new Godzilla. Oh, this is the breakdown.
I got you.
Or you sent. This is the other one you sent me.
I just sent you the link.
There it is.
Just now.
Got it. Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah, versus King. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. There's the hook hands.
We can't sit here and just watch this.
No. I just want to see. Oh, you know what? Oh man, yeah, they did a great job with Ghidorah. Looks really good too.
Yeah, they all look good. What year?
Yeah,
what year this was that they did this?
Oh, this is pretty recent, I think. Wow.
It said 2023, so I think Yeah, it looks really good. It looks like it's good. I mean, it's just a fight sequence. That's the thing. There's no movie attached to it.
Yep.
This is almost like the 13 minutes that you want to watch of a Godzilla movie once shit goes off. Yeah. It's missing the hour of character build-up.
Well, yeah. That's okay.
But it looks good. It looks good.
But this is what I'm saying, is if you like big monster movies, like Pacific Rim, if Pacific Rim is your, you saw that and you liked it and you haven't really ever thought of watching the older ones, I would say any of the ones we've talked about, there's different eras of Godzilla. And I personally tend to like the stuff that's kind of in the middle, which, I like Godzilla looking serious to threatening. So the older movies, he does look kind of goofy.
Oh God, he looks serious to threatening in this short. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Is really, I think the Millennium era on is when they started to redesign him to make him look meaner. And there was a point where I think they went a little too far with it and made him look too mean, where it just looks a little off. But Space Godzilla is a good movie to watch if you've never seen a Godzilla movie. I would definitely say. What was it? Tokyo Wars or SOS Tokyo, whatever. There's good Mechagodzilla movies. The modern ones, obviously, the American ones are the cartoony version. Godzilla -1 is stellar, but it's serious. If you don't want it serious, don't watch Godzilla -1. That's a serious Godzilla movie. He's not played for a joke there. Whereas in a lot of the other ones, there is a lightness to them. The all-out giant monsters attack one is good from the effects and everything for the most part. So there's a lot of Godzilla out there. And, there's Gamera too. There's other creatures. It isn't just Godzilla. But honestly, Godzilla gives you the most range.
Have there been other creature films where it's just about another creature?
Oh, yeah, Gamera. Gamera is probably the most notable one. Gamera's had... How many films has Gamera had? Gamera, let's see. How many movies? Where's the filmography here? Relationship with Godzilla. Oh, do they have one? Yeah, they wanted it to coexist. They wanted it to be they wanted it to be a more child-friendly version. That's why he's the guardian of all children type of thing. Here we go.
How do you child-friendly a kaiju?
He just protects kids a lot. He's been in 12 movies. From 1965 to 2006. There was an animated film. There's been at least one video game I know of. So yeah. He's a big turtle. So he's kind of friendly already. That's really his gimmick. And he spins. Like he spins around. And he flies. So, well, like I said, there is other stuff, but Godzilla is rightfully the heavyweight. And the nice part about that is there's a lot of Godzilla for you to enjoy in different ways, depending on what you want.
And it's short. Destroy All Monsters is good. And Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah is good. Watch those.
Like you said, we have not watched a bad Godzilla film.
No,
I can't think of a bad Godzilla film.
If you don't like vintage cheesiness, it's not going to be for you.
No, that's why I'm saying if the older stuff from what you've seen is a little too goofy, stick to Millennium Era and after. So probably around 2000, maybe 95. Whatever Space Godzilla was that 94? Or am I off on that? Let me see. That's where you that era and forward is where you want to get in. Let's see. The movie. Where's the movie? Where the hell is this movie? Oh my God. Here it is. The movie is from 94. Okay, I was right. So 94. So right around the mid-90s. Forward is where it's less goofy. There will still be goofiness, but not nearly to the degree. You're not going to see anybody drop kicking Ghidorah after 94 or the mid-90s, okay? There won't be a little deformed, melted Muppet blowing smoke rings after the mid-90s. They did away with that stuff. They'd already done away with it by 94. So, yeah. But you really can't go wrong with a Godzilla film. They're all a lot of fun. So that's kind of that of everything is the conclusion. So whatever giant monster movie you watch, if you go with Godzilla, you're probably going to have a good time. Other things, the quality will vary, which is why Godzilla is the heavyweight in all this stuff, because over the years, he has somehow, that series of movies has kept that creature working in different venues with a lot of success. So, Kaijun was a lot of fun. I don't know that we're going to have a theme for July necessarily.
I don't think so either. I think we're just going to watch weird shit.
Yeah, I have some ideas, one of which is to watch terrible sequels. I can already think of a few that but that won't be the whole theme. I just have a couple where I'm like, we should watch these because I think these are really bad.
Oh,
and
man.
they're a lot of fun. So that is
the made-to-TV, the made-for-TV sequels?
I did find a whole folder of work print films, which a lot are TV edits that are really weird and different, but I have to actually see if they're any good or not.
God,
so,
okay.
So who knows? Anyway, Kaijun was a lot of fun for the most part, and we got to see a lot of stuff and cemented why Godzilla is awesome. So on that note, everybody, the nice part also about Godzilla films, a lot of them are free to watch. A lot of them are very easy to watch in different places. So that's another benefit. So if you watch any of these, especially if you watch the ones that we didn't like and like them, by all means, let us know, and that's great. But if you've never taken a chance on Godzilla, and we have kind of inspired you to do so, let us know how it went, because I'd be curious if somebody who's really never seen a Godzilla film, I'll talk about the Japanese ones, people have probably run into the Matthew Broderick or the modern American ones. So if you've never watched the classic Japanese stuff, out of all of them, the one I would broadly recommend for people who are into serious movies would be -1. But if you're into fun stuff, you could watch a lot that we didn't even talk about. So if you have watched them, let us know how it went. On that note, that's it. So whatever you do, have a wonderful weekend, and we will most likely be back next week. Visit OzoneNightmare.com to subscribe to new episodes or to browse through our back catalog. Email questions or comments to ozonenightmare@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the show, visit supportourshow.com and select whatever option works best for you. The opening theme for the show is provided by Heartbeat Hero. The closing theme is provided by Ogre. Please visit and support these artists using the links in the show notes for each episode.